Ladies and gentlemen, and gentlemanly ladies, on this week's On the Rocks, Pride Month continues with actor and club king Mario Diaz, with singer-model Lyle Anthony, and my guest co-host, hot from NYC, founder of some more dating app, Adam Cohen-Aslatei, is here, and me, your favorite host with the sassy most. Raise a glass and let the drinks begin.
And most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
All right, so this Pride Month, we've been very respectful. We've had activists. Well, we're changing it up today. Today's a party. I'm scared. I'm a little scared. I'm going to be honest. Buttons and bows and pantyhose. On the Rocks podcast, a place where we're too glam to give a damn. Happy Pride Month. Y'all are still fighting about the goddamn pride flag, what colors to add, what colors not to add. Stop fighting and get your ish together. I mean, it's Pride Month. I don't care what color you want to wear, want to identify with. Just fly your flag because we can this year, okay? Speaking of dramatic, I want to give a shout out to Aspire Dental in Orange County, by the way. I was visiting my mom, and then I had this emergency mouth situation. I literally thought I was going to die. I was so dramatic. I was crying. I have never felt pain like this in my life. I haven't been to the dentist in 12 years, like, just so everybody knows. Perfect teeth, because you can take them out at the end of the night. No, but I went there, and I was so dramatic.
Can we see?
I was, like, crying. They had to take a tooth out, like, right as I was sitting in the chair. And I was so dramatic, and they asked me to take my jacket off, but it matched, and I had, like, a pajama top on underneath. Then they asked me to take the hat off for the x-ray, but I had bedhead hair for 2 days. So I was not prepared to be prepared. And they put up with me, and they even let me change the channel. Thank you. Okay. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks on Air, and on Facebook, On The Rocks Radio Show. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will show up and host. Info at OnTheRocksRadioshow.com. The show is presented by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and or listen to now our 250 episodes at OnTheRocksRadioshow.com. Hello to our listeners around the nation on every major podcast platform. Of course, we are on Facebook Watch on our syndicates tonight, and on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, on the OutAt.tv app. Share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave your phone number if you're single. Even if you're not single, I am. Whee! Kurt, do you have a pun for us?
I always have a pun for you.
You're so punny. Hurry up.
So I lost my my mood ring the other day. You know that?
Is this a joke from 1975?
Exactly.
Jesus, Kurt.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Oh, Dad.
Okay, so for our audience, if you didn't listen to our last episode, some good news and bad news. Good news, we only have to listen to Kurt's puns for a little bit longer. Bad news, Kurt is leaving us, my engineer from day one. How many years?
It's been a while.
I think you called out sick once, and I think I still made you come in. So Kurt's leaving us next week, or next episode is his last episode, but he's going to come back to co-host a sci-fi nerdy episode that I'll probably call out sick for. But thank you, Kurt. Kurt's pun is brought to us by our presenting sponsor, JustFor.Fans. You'll have more fun at JustFor.Fans than you will listening to his puns over and over. We've all been a little lonely during COVID. Some of us are still wary to have relations. JustFor.Fans is a perfect way to have relations with somebody digitally. Sign up for free at JustFor.Fans. Thank you. Let me welcome my guest co-host today, visiting from the East Coast, by the way, wearing his Canadian tuxedo. Are you scared of me? You know, you can move in.
I want to give you your space. My head is too big for both of our faces. We already talked about that.
I'm just saying, like, your forehead and my ass. Kurt's like, I don't know about this.
I mean, how much close do you want me to get?
Oh, you're married, bitch.
Well, now, yeah.
Oh.
We don't know the extent of my relationship. We didn't get
We
there yet.
are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about
that.
Let me introduce Adam. Adam did do the show, I think, last month. He's the founder and CEO of S'more, the new anti-superficial relationship app that's all about getting to know a person before deciding if you like them and before you even see them, by the way. The more you chat, the clearer they become, which my dates, the more I chat, the blurrier they get because the more I've been drinking. So this is perfect for me. He is the former managing director of Chappie, Bumble's gay dating app and is a 10-year industry vet, having worked for companies including The Meet Group and Spark Network. S'more has been widely covered by media sources including The View, Comedy Central, Forbes, Elle, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, and more. And the company even has its own celebrity dating show on Instagram every week at S'more Date on Instagram. And you guys, it is so much fun, and you never know who's going to come play. Everyone from Real Housewives to Survivor people to Bachelor people, even moi, by the way. I went and had a little fun on there. You have to watch it every week. Super, super fun. Please welcome Adam Cohen-Aslatei.
Bravo. It's so much more fun to be here than to
Isn't
do
it?
this virtually in a WeWork in New York City.
Right?
So thank you for having me. Although this is in the Valley, for those of you who are watching.
The Valley.
I haven't
oh my God,
been,
you guys.
But I haven't been to LA in 2 years, and it's really far in traffic. It took me like
what
an
part
hour
of
to
you,
get here.
Yeah. What part of LA are you staying
The
in?
west part of LA.
What does that
Which
even
west
mean?
part?
There's like 40 West.
West
like
Hollywood?
Brentwood or West Hollywood?
Like Beverly Hills.
Oh,
Okay. Come on, girl.
See, that's why I didn't want to say it.
Don't be afraid
You
to say
judge me,
Beverly
not
Hills.
based on my headshot, but based on my zip code.
But I will, like, Beverly Hills, West Hollywood to any place is an hour.
Yeah.
Downtown, North Hollywood, whatever. It's like,
Totally.
oh, God. Thank God for Uber and drinking in your Uber. Otherwise, there's just no way.
Well, I drove here, and I'm like on this and this device and this device. I'm nervous I'm going to be late for you. I wasn't late for you.
Well, and traffic is back to normal.
I know.
It's like, bitches, stay home.
I know.
Like, let the cool kids play a little bit. Okay, so we got to know you a little bit on the last time, and we are going to delve in our little segments we have. But I want to know, now that people are getting back into the dating world, and I had to update my dating apps because COVID carbs, and I don't look like I did before COVID. Even Facetune, I'm like, Facetune's like, even I can't do this. Anyway, what are the biggest mistakes people make on their dating apps when they're setting up their profile?
Okay, where do I even
So
begin?
many. Okay, how about
So many.
like a gay man? Like, what are
Okay.
the biggest mistakes a gay man makes?
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about what we're looking for. So, are we looking for a one-night stand?
Yes.
Okay. So then a torso is probably good. The better your torso looks, probably the more swipes and chats you'll get.
Next.
Right. Okay. But so once you've done that for 5 or 6 or 7 years and you're looking for the relationship, you got to lead with who you actually are. Because dating apps have become overly superficial and we're just judging someone based on a headshot. We're being judged based on a headshot. And it leaves us lonely, sad, and depressed. And we know this because now COVID's happened. So we're all home. We're all alone. We don't know why we're so single. Now we know. We've treated relationships like we're a piece of meat, like we're disposable. That's crazy.
Well, but many of us need to change our profile pics, and many of us are not changing our profile pics.
Yes. So if your profile pics are over 10 years old, it probably needs to be updated because I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. So if you're on a dating app and you're dating someone, you have great chemistry, great conversation. So you like them, they like you, you have a phone call, a voice call, whatever. You go to Cicconi's for your date. Okay?
If I want to fall asleep at dinner,
I
that's
guess-
so pretentious.
I guess it wasn't you. Someone else had this story, but it reminded me of you. I don't know.
Oh, no, I had the Sir restaurant story where I
Oh.
took my 1-year anniversary and he threw up all over me and everybody else around me.
yes.
Projectile vomit, happy anniversary.
Someone else was telling me this story. They went to Cicconi's. They had this great conversation. They meet this guy. He literally was using a photo from 25 years ago. And the person called him out and was like, so it kind of looks like you, but you don't have hair now. In that photo, you had dark hair and you didn't have wrinkles. And he says, yeah, that was me from 25 years ago.
Why would anybody even think that's okay?
That's like totally, what are we doing here?
That should be illegal.
That
Yeah,
really should be
I think
illegal.
a little
be-
misdemeanor.
Illegal. Like, what is
Absolutely.
going on? Like, let's be comfortable in our own skin. Let's be real. We're talking about being inclusive. It's Pride Month. Be yourself. Be all the crazy flaws that you have. Have crazy hair, tattoos, as you can see, and just be yourself. And if you're yourself all the time, you'll hopefully attract the right kind of person to give you that long-term relationship, not the short-term gratification.
Well, here's the thing about like Cicconi's. It's a very nice restaurant, but I think for a first date, like if you like to eat at Panda Express and go to the thrift store on Saturdays for like a fun day, if that's fun to you, do that on the first date.
Yes.
Because I would rather take that person to Cicconi's to dinner for the
Right,
third date
right.
than like try to pretend to be something I don't.
Yes.
Funniest part of this
But-
is I'm going to Cicconi's after this.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a
Excuse
9
us,
o'clock
bitch.
and
But-
9
but-
p.m.
Is it for a date?
No, I've been in a relationship for 4 years.
So we're not
Did you
talking
see
about
all
the
of us were
same
like,
guy.
oh.
I know I'm like an old married woman.
I don't think so.
but the
Old
thing
married women
is-
do not look like you. Okay.
Chiconi's in West Hollywood is actually a very good place to go because if the date's going well, then you go clubbing afterwards and you have the best
Right,
night
that's
ever,
true.
right?
And then you have
Yeah.
good
It's a
sex
good
after,
meal.
for sure.
Plus, you always see somebody that you know at Chiconi's,
Yes.
and then if it's like bad, you're like SOS.
Or you just want a picture with a celeb, whatever. It's always going to be a good night. It's a good dinner regardless. But this person ditched the dinner. He was like, you were catfishing me and bye. And
I
good
mean, I
for
probably
you.
would. Too.
Now, do people think that it's too awkward of a situation that you would just say nothing, or you would just ignore the fact and be like, "Hey, you look great 25 years later.
Yeah.
Let's continue."
Okay,
do people
so,
expect that?
So this person told me that the guy actually looked good, and if he wasn't lying about the pictures he was using, he might have stayed. I, as a Canadian wearing my Canadian tuxedo, you can't really fully see it. I think I would have probably stayed because I'm not very confrontational, and I would probably want to know
You're nice.
more. Yeah, I probably want to know more about why they did what they did and kind of dig into it psychologically and analyze him, and then hopefully he changes.
Okay, but
Do you
here's the
always
thing.
think it's psychological, though?
No,
it
but-
has to be, right?
It has to be.
But here's the thing: coming out of
Because a
COVID,
friend of mine catfished me. So.
but you said
In the
friends.
same, I mean, he's a friend now. He wasn't a friend back then.
But how can you be friends with somebody you can't trust?
I mean, we all grow up, and I believe in second chances.
I think
I
most
do.
people are too nice to kick somebody out, so they probably get away with it more times than they don't get away with
I
it.
have the best story for you about this. I
I mean, I'll call the Uber before the door even like finish.
I'm
swinging
too
open.
nice.
So,
I'll just-
by the way, I'm gonna refer. This guy's gonna be on your show in a couple weeks because you need to interview him.
Okay.
He's a very. I'm not gonna say his name. He's a very famous LGBTQ actor in Hollywood,
Okay.
Could you narrow it
And-
down? If it's Neil Patrick Harris, I'm not interested.
and it's not no. And so we are best friends. We grew up together in Canada and what have you. So he lives in LA.
Canada,
And he was at his apartment. He's on this, LGBTQ dating app that's known for hookups. And he's
Grindr.
on this app, and he, so he ended up matching with this guy who looked great in the photos. It had great
Was it
conversation.
for a
Matching
was it
on
for a-
Grindr.
Oh, is
What do you
hookup?
mean we matched on
it
Grindr?
Emerson.
Like he sent the person a message, and they responded. That's what I call a match. You're right. Grindr doesn't have. Anyways,
Right.
so he invites this person over, and things are great. And so the guy rings his doorbell, and he answers the door. Okay, he answers the door, and he opens the door, and there's nobody there. And he's like, "What?
It's a ghost.
No."
The Conjuring 4.
The guy was a little person. Now, can I just tell you what the story is? The photos were legit, and he looked back at the photos. He's like, "Oh my God, the guy's head was at the light switch level. I just never thought about it because I just never thought about it."
Maybe he was laying on the couch.
And so the guy was like, "Hey, we're gonna bang, right? Like that's why I'm here." And the guy was 3'4", whatever. He had never been with a little person before, and he wasn't attracted when he saw him because of that. But they ended up sleeping together twice and came back the next day for some more. So you know what?
hey.
We're all about being superficial here, but those things could work.
Right.
Hey,
I agree.
and no, it wasn't.
Oh, I'm
innocent.
attracted to all statures. That wouldn't do anything.
No,
for me.
that wouldn't.
I would
no.
love it.
Then the next day, he had sex with his UPS driver. That's an interesting one. Like, how do you even know?
So
like,
it's somebody
what?
clearly looking for a relationship.
Yes. They want to get it out of their system and then.
See,
move
I
into
agree with that.
relationships.
When you're single, act as single as you want, because then when it's time,
Yeah.
then
Well, look,
then it's time.
everyone defines
I mean, but
relationships
also, yeah,
differently,
absolutely.
right? You know? Who are we to judge?
Well,
right?
that's exactly right.
I mean, we are going to judge.
And
I
we're
mean,
but it's
also
fine.
not
I'm gonna
heterosexual.
It's
Do you
fine.
know who
so
I am?
let's-
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get this on the road. So now you know what to do, what not to do for your dating app. Well, I mean, we all obviously people lie about like their size.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
like, are there
tight or size?
What size?
like size? Like, are you a Subway 6? Or are you
Yeah.
a Subway
Are you
footlong?
hung or that one? That
Yeah,
size?
but
Well,
Yeah,
they say they
can I ask
usually
you-
add like an inch and a half, right?
What
But
is
you're
that?
gonna see it.
What
you're
is that?
gonna know.
Can I ask you a question?
The question is,
though?
where do they
Yes.
measure it
What-
from, right? I mean, where do you measure it
Exactly.
from? From your ass?
Yeah,
I
exactly,
mean,
exactly. So,
I'm just
but
saying.
what kind of a question is? Are you? Everyone asks,
I
"Are you hung?"
hate that.
Can
Like,
I
it's
tell you?
relative.
I'm gonna
Freaking
show you how
question.
ignorant I am. I ran a gay dating app. This is for everyone.
Okay,
S'more, right?
okay.
By the way, S'more is the Love Is Blind app, right? So if you've seen the show
Yes.
Love Is Blind on Netflix,
Yes.
very similar.
You're not talking about size or whatever. You're talking about somebody's personality, and you really.
Okay,
Are.
so when
Sorry, I'm
I first
sweating here.
when I first heard the term hung, I don't know why. Again, I'm a sheltered Canadian Jewish boy. I thought that hung meant like how low your balls are because they're hung.
Oh my god!
And I thought it was
So you
like
had a good 2 inches.
like bulbs on a tree that you hang them.
God,
And
Adam.
like only recently, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, wait. Because everyone
Is that a
says
Canadian
That's
thing?
ridiculous.
How
That's-
could everyone's balls be low to the ground like that? And like, no, that means you have a large wiener. And I was like,
Oh, he knows.
Even
then
your term is so
everyone-
polite. It's like, what are you, Mary Poppins?
Wiener.
How are you? It's a wiener.
but you know,
It's
fine.
shocking considering
Whatever.
the business that you're in.
That's exactly
I
right.
see a lot of-
You're gonna have to
I
change
s-
hot dog to wiener now.
I see a lot of wieners. And also, when we were developing S'more, we had people that were new to the industry, and they didn't understand moderation for dating apps.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, I'm in a WeWork. We have this woman. She's moderating all these photos. I hear a screech, and I was like, "Oh my god, what's going on? What happened?" I saw a dick pic, the biggest dick I've ever seen, and embarrassing because you're at a WeWork looking at porn with people walking behind you. You need to be very careful about, in a dating app. We need a locked room for that.
Well, and like all of our Instagrams have now turned into porn. It's like
Yes.
I'll be at the grocery store, or my mom will be like, "Show me that," whatever. And we'll be at lunch, and be like, "Oh, look," and I'm like, "Whoa."
Listen, Twitter.
gosh.
You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
even open.
I
Twitter.
can't even do Twitter anymore,
No.
especially if you like something, because
Yeah.
then everybody sees what you like or saw. I'm like,
But
It's all puppies and dicks. My whole Twitter. is
Right.
But Facebook's become like
politics.
animals eating animals. Like, have you seen this new
What?
thing? I haven't been on.
who are your friends?
No, I haven't been, and we're not.
I've never seen an animal eating an animal.
So I'm on Facebook, and I don't really go on the newsfeed because I'm on Instagram so much, and it's like a fox eating a lion or
the
an
hell?
alligator. I was like, what is?
I have
and
not seen one of these
every-
videos.
I
you're
don't-
We
speaking
at the
of.
Kruger National Park.
I don't want to see that.
But you end
Yeah,
up watching
no.
the whole thing because you
Why?
want
No,
to
you
see.
don't.
Yes,
It's
you want to
why
see
it's
the
a part
hyena
of-
escape. It's crazy.
part of
No,
life.
I can't watch that. I can't
That's
watch
the part of the
like,
nature show I look away. I'm too sensitive for that. I'm too
that, and
sensitive.
also when they show like the animals having sex, it's like let them have their moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd
How would
rather
you
see
like it?
humans eat humans than animals eat animals.
agree.
I'm okay with that.
Along that vein, how many Jeffrey Dahmer films do we need? Chad Michael Murray's doing another
I don't
Jeffrey
know.
Dahmer film.
I'm down
Why?
with it. Just keep them coming, as far as I'm
Just
concerned.
change the recipe up a little bit. Add some paprika. All right, we got to get down to business. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are talking to Mario Diaz and Lyle Anthony about everything. We're going to play a little truth or sip, and
Yes.
we are going to spill some tea when we come back.
I've been sipping so much.
And we're back. All right, let me formally introduce our guest of
Shortest
honor.
break ever.
That is a very short break. Mario Diaz is thrilled to be sharing his story in the documentary film Club King, which I watched this week, over the weekend, by the way,
Wow.
now streaming on Reverie TV. He's known to audiences as the leading man and king of douchebags in the indie hit Hollywood Sex Wars, or you may recognize him as the circus ringleader in a Subway $5 foot-long commercial. He's also the co-lead singer of the band Dirty Sanchez and the creator and promoter of countless nightclubs and dance parties, including the Cock in NYC, Hot Dog, Bonkers, Full Frontal Disco, Brutus, and BFD, the country's longest-running weekly queer night, which has recently, pre-pandemic, hit its 18-year mark. No other relationship in queer nightlife has lasted 18 years, I will tell you that much. He's also the producer of the official closing party of San Francisco Folsom Street Fair, Deviants. Great name, by the way. Film and TV work also includes La La Land, American Horror Story, Feud, Fresh Off the Boat, Raising Hope, Anger Management, Two Broke Girls, Listerine Pocket Packs,
Oh
by
my
the way, so you
God,
know
my-
he's got good
My
breath.
whole bio here.
Every brand you can imagine, music videos for Heart, Smashing Pumpkins, many more, and of course his independent films. The list truly, truly goes on. He's also can be seen in the Sherry Vine variety show, by the way. I think episode 3 just hit.
Yes, it did.
It did. And Sherry Vine's on our next episode,
Oh,
by the
she
way.
is. Cool.
Yep. So we thought we
My
could lead
sister,
in.
my drag sister.
Mario loves puppies, pizza, and tube socks.
Yeah.
You just have to watch like
Yeah, I
Club
do.
King to see how many socks this man actually has. But he hates your flip flops. Sorry.
Yes.
Please welcome
No-
Mario Diaz.
No flip flops.
I don't even want to see feet. Like, I want you to wear shoes in the shower. I don't want to see feet
No,
in
I
bed.
don't want to see your
don't-
feet. I mean, I will ask you if I want to see your feet, but I don't need, especially not at the nightclub. That is the worst thing. I have this
God.
weird
Oh, yeah.
urge, kind of like when the fear of heights, you feel like that vertigo, like you're going to be pulled off the side of a building. I have this urge to stomp on your toes if I see your toes at the nightclub. I don't
But
like
at the
that.
nightclub, people are spilling drinks. They're spilling
Everything
glasses.
about it. It's
There's
like
other fluids.
Go to the
I
beach
was
in
gonna
your
say,
flip
his
flops.
nightclub,
There's a place
lot
for
of stuff
them.
on the floor there.
Yeah.
And plus, I
Broken
mean,
glass. You know, it's dangerous.
plus, like a gay man will pay thousands of dollars to maintain his face. He will not scrub his feet.
And
Like, what is going on?
You know, feet are a thing. You have to like a good foot can be an attractive thing, but you know what? I just don't want to. Don't shove your foot in my face. I don't want to see it.
What about so not in your mouth either?
Well, it
You're
depends. Depends. We'll talk about that later.
Foot
Oh,
fetish.
that's date 3 on Smart Dating app. Also,
3. What's that? I've never had one.
His
of those.
profile pic is a foot. It unblurs to a foot.
I've seen those. I've seen
Yes.
those. See, I've used dating apps for hookups. I've never really used a dating
Wait,
app to
when
actually
not that
date.
this is
When
my-
last did you use
Not that
one?
this is my show, but what is your relationship status? Can we know?
Single,
And
like
we have
chronically single.
We have a page of questions
It's
about that.
been
Oh,
years.
okay.
It was
good.
very odd, Mario, when I announced that you were coming on the show. All of a sudden, message about your relationship status, and then I do research on everybody who comes on the show. That's my favorite thing to do is
Right.
research. And then I found
Google?
this
You
website.
Googled?
I did a little bit more than Google, bitch. But there's this like page that's set up for people that may or may not have had relations with you.
Okay, so everyone.
Well, the stories
I'll
differ.
just set the record straight. It's pretty much everybody.
The stories differ from it was an amazing night and it happened once to, well, the 4th time wasn't good.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm gonna send you the link.
4th time? No.
He's never slept with the same person more than once.
I mean, and then these people like claim to be your good friends, and I mean, it's a very odd
Well,
page.
you know, people talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
talk. They don't know. You know.
They do.
But wait, there's a whole website dedicated to this?
It's like a page. I don't know if it's like what the whole website's about.
Listen,
but he
is
has
it a
whole
Facebook group,
section.
maybe?
No. You and your Facebook group.
I don't know.
Girl,
it's
we're
a,
not
it's a new thing.
60-year-old women.
Everyone
like,
has a Facebook group. It's the whole promoted.
apparently,
Yeah,
you're animals eating animals.
Groups,
Yes.
Facebook is
Yes.
pretty passe, right? Groups. Do people
Well,
even
no,
do that?
it's no.
It's like
a
55 plus.
Well, I was gonna say it's a bit of an older
Or
demographic.
married.
My people.
So that's okay.
No, it's still very active, by the way. Also joining us
is.
tonight, Lyle Anthony. Just 10 years ago, South African-born Afro-pop singer-songwriter Lyle Anthony splashed into the entertainment world when he won the international franchise talent show Popstars. He was signed with EMI Records to become part of the award-winning South African group. Now, you have to pronounce this for me.
Navida. It means for life in Swahili.
Oh, yeah. The spelling is like a Scrabble game, like fell or something. Say it again. Navida.
Navida, yeah.
Levita?
Navida.
Navita? Oh. Navita. Okay.
Exactly that.
Exactly. He has performed on stages around the globe, and also the South African Soccer World Cup in 2010, by the way.
Wow.
Has been traveling. His upcoming EP titled The Love Project is a message of love, unity, and joy to millions of people around the world. So timely for Pride season. And we're going to take a look today at his latest music video, My Forever, featuring a number of LA personalities, by the way. You have also seen his modeling work in many of Andrew Christian's campaigns.
Slut.
No, but it's always very tastefully done. In fact,
Right?
when I did
Thank
your
you,
research,
thank you.
everybody was lamenting that there's not a nude photo of you out there. There's no nude photo. And there's literally, everyone's like, oh, wow. And I was like, well,
She
Keep a
keeps
lock
her
on
nose
it.
clean.
you can still see what's going on, though. But, it's fine. Please welcome Lyle Anthony.
Hey, what's happening?
Bravo.
All right, before we get into the nitty-gritty about your careers,
Yes.
we're going to start the show with a little hot topic,
right.
just to break the ice a little bit. Kurt, take it away. It's time for Hot Topics on the Rocks with Alexander. Better pour yourself another. So hot, you guys. Okay.
That's hot.
That's hot. Of course, you can look at all of our hot topics on our own playlist on IGTV. So, hot topics. There is a call for prides to become more family friendly. Turn the volume down on sexuality and kink way down to make pride appropriate for everyone.
No.
Mario, we know that your
fuck
whole
that.
career started. Wait a minute. And Lyle, we know that your shirtless selfies and, there's a little sexual flair added to your brand. And Adam, you seem very conservative to me, especially with your Facebook groups with, like, women watching animals.
You know what?
Absolutely.
I love everyone. Really, as a Canadian,
Oh my.
You guys do
Sexy.
love everybody.
Congeniality.
How
Sexy.
diplomatic. How
Yes.
diplomatic.
I like the
Congeniality.
raunchy. I appreciate it. I don't need to be doing it, but I appreciate it.
I love everyone too.
I'm sure you do it behind closed doors. Let's
Or
because if
did
you're
you
not,
find my
then-
pic? You didn't Google me. Did you Google? Did you X-ray to Google me?
No.
Maybe you'll find something.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hung. Okay, but here's the topic, and I will play devil's advocate to whatever you bring up. I have a
right.
feeling what you gentlemen are going to say, but I want you to give your opinion on this hot topic.
All right. Well, this particular, I mean, I think that the kink scene in particular has a very integral, important part of queer history and queer culture. I think it's certainly essential to be celebrated, and those people deserve a voice.
Absolutely.
It's part of accepting, all the aspects of our community, including kink, which is part of our history. So, yeah, I fully celebrate it. I just love any group of people that has the bravery and is willing to accept who they are in all aspects of themselves and celebrate it. I love big groups of people that that celebrate their freedoms.
Absolutely.
But
There's
during a
absolutely
pride
no
event-
shame in it at all.
But if I brought my 7-year-old daughter that I've adopted,
Okay.
why should they be witness to at 11 a.m. to some kink being played out to nude men when I haven't even had that kind of conversation? I want.
I believe
want
parents
my child.
should have those conversations with their children.
Absolutely.
So
At
I think
11
that
years
it's your responsibility, if you're going to be a parent, to have those conversations. Again, sexuality is completely normal. It's healthy. It's innate in all of us. So I think it's important to accept that and be able to have open dialogue with your children about sexuality. It is
And
part of the life
I
existence.
feel like too, if you're bringing your child out to a gay pride event at 11 years old, you're gonna have to educate them in some sort of way. You know what I mean? If they're there, you've got to have prepared them for. You know what I mean? If you're so open-minded, then you're gonna have to accept the community.
And also,
like
if you
it
set
is.
up sexuality as a taboo, as if there's
Right.
somehow something wrong with it, or some sort of shame in it, it's very dangerous.
Right.
Shame is something that eats us from within. It's one of the greatest torturers in our society.
Right.
It's a very dangerous thing, and we do live in this sort of puritanical right-wing leaning world where there's all this shame around who we are sexually, and
exactly, yeah.
there shouldn't be. I think that's a really horrible aspect of the world we live in. And I think children are very cool. They can handle it. Have an open dialogue with them. They can deal with it. It's not weird for them unless you make it weird for them.
All right, so let me bring a different aspect. We know this last administration has crippled our community, right?
Right.
It's made people take sides where they didn't normally take sides. So in our striving to build bridges and open communication with other groups, is that really the best way to start having communication with a conservative side by, look at us having sex in public with this leather? Is that really what we are showing our pride in?
Honestly, I really have no interest in appeasing or kowtowing to this group of people anymore. I don't even think there really is, I mean, not to get too political, a Republican Party anymore. It's really about whether we believe in equality for
Absolutely.
everyone,
Yeah.
or you're essentially, a selfish racist. I'm sorry, I'm
Also,
simplifying it at
there,
this point.
There was a study that came out today, timely. 70% of all Americans agree with LGBTQ rights, marriage equality, and that gay people can adopt children as well, which is a very
But
big
that doesn't mean that
hot
they need to
topic.
see half-naked people dancing in
But
the
then
streets.
the other
But
part of it,
also
I
it's
think the
part
other,
of, yeah.
I was gonna say, it's just the other part of it is we need to just enlarge what that parade is. I'll tell you, I grew up in Canada. I didn't know a gay person. I didn't have a gay person.
You're all gay up there.
But then I just didn't have anyone in my family. I never saw that, and my references were Will and Grace, Grindr, and Gay Pride Parade.
Right.
That was my reality, and so it would also be nice. I love Gay Pride Parade. I feel so proud to see people. I get the chills all over my body just knowing what my experience was.
Right.
I think all of us have been in a pride parade
Right.
at some
Well,
point.
when I hear
in
you-
our life.
But it
No,
lacks something, though, because it's missing. Not every gay person identifies that way. It showcases a part of the community, but I think that they should also, make the effort to have, I don't know.
In
like
my experience,
the
parades
law
have
firm-
showcased quite a nice, diverse group of queer people and their allies and their family and people who support them. So I don't really see it like that. And when I hear a statement like they don't need to see half-naked people, I think to myself, well, why? What's wrong with the human body? Nudity is a
I
beautiful,
love
natural
it.
thing.
Have you seen mine lately, Mario Diaz?
I love your body,
Girls,
baby.
celebrate
And
it.
looks
Celebrate
better on a
it.
floaty.
I
than
love
it
it.
does.
Absolutely.
And I just think we need to fight all of these stigmas that we
Right.
have around our sexuality, around our nudity. I think these are all.
Absolutely.
It would be
Because
such a
then
healthier
here's
world.
The
But
thing,
can we-
we're trying to also protect our trans rights and all of these kind of things. We're gay, we're queer, we're this, we're that. We're such a melting pot of different things, and if we're gonna shy away from anything that the heterosexual Republican or whoever the fuck wants to change who we are and how we celebrate ourselves, our sexuality, then we're losing to what they Do you know what I mean?
I agree with
It's-
that.
Then,
I
then
agree
it's
with
what
that.
they want.
But
yeah.
it would be
We-
nice. Like I mean, I don't go to every gay pride parade, but I would like to also see floats with amazing LGBTQ doctors and researchers and
Those exist. They
philanthropists.
always
do
have.
exist.
I just don't see enough of that at these parades, and it would be nice to
Well, I would
open the
tell you-
doors. Also to say like this could be you. You can be the president of this. You can be. It can be anything you want, and I think that these gay pride parades are so much fun. I love them, but I don't see enough of other people.
It's funny because I always notice and take great note when I see the the police officers,
The
and
lawyers,
the
the
doctors,
bankers.
and the lawyers, and then the parents of the queer people.
One
and,
float of among 100 floats.
well,
is
that
1%.
just depends on who wants to come out to celebrate.
Right.
I mean, we can't really
Right. We
force
need-
people to celebrate.
Okay, but here's also
We
what
need to
happened.
get
Listen,
more.
I saw Methodists and floats,
Right,
like the
right.
Christians, the Jesus, like they were in there.
And
you
it's
know what
like
I
you
mean?
think
So
about
it's
all the
like-
years of oppression and suppressing who we are and what we've been through historically.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have had to sort of wave our freak flag and just be like, yes, we are sexual people. We own it. We're going to celebrate it. It's part of why we need pride is because we have been kept down for so long, and still there are places in the planet where people are being killed, and where it's illegal for being queer, and
I agree with that.
it's a terrible thing. And I say, throw the sex in your face.
Absolutely.
Let's normalize it and be okay with it, and not be offended by a little skin.
Absolutely,
Well,
because
also-
remember as well, when we're kids, we see a sex movie come on and we like cringing in our skin.
Right.
because
It
our
becomes
parents
a
haven't-
taboo,
Do you know
and
what I
then
mean?
it
Already,
becomes even more
we've
enticing.
created that in our minds.
here's-
Sexuality can't be, you know what I mean? Like it's just like
Is it
why
appropriate
we-
for any age child though?
Yes, I think so.
I mean, I don't like if you're.
You're created
handcuffing
having
people
sex,
and, like,
baby.
The
You're
world we
created
live in
having
now
sex.
on
I don't
these
think a 5-year-old
on
needs to
these
see that.
okay, no,
I'm
right.
not
well, that's a
saying-
parent's responsibility.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
So maybe there should be pride events that are just for family.
Let me-
Like we're having this family kind of gathering from noon to 2. Or,
Right.
I
I
don't
certainly
know.
don't
I
think we
might
need
wanna-
to be editing the sexuality aspect of
Absolutely,
pride,
absolutely
or add any more stigma to what we deal with already.
Here's what I will say. I'm gonna rephrase what I said a few seconds ago. I think when I got into like young adulthood and I'd still watch a movie and the sex scene came on, I'd kind of cringe and want to crawl into my at young adulthood as a man, I shouldn't be feeling that way about my sexuality. We should supposed to be celebrating our sexuality, sex, all of that kind of thing. We make it taboo. We've made it.
It's true. I mean,
because
think
of
about-
like all these religions have
It's a
made
part-
it so.
and think about how it
taboo,
affects
and
the
it's
lifestyles of like
ridiculous.
young women with body dysmorphia issues and eating disorders.
Absolutely.
All of this
It's
is based
all
around
part of
that
sexuality.
puritanical idea that nudity is bad and sex is bad, and when we all carry this equally, this is about as normal as breathing.
Okay, so I just want to say this. So I play devil's advocate for a
Yeah.
topic because I agree. Here's the thing. Growing up, I remember, and you look at any billboard, you look at Instagram, you look at what's not being banned, and it's women that are half naked.
Right.
It's women
Absolutely.
in underwear.
Lizzo
On the-
is doing the thing on TikTok.
Meanwhile, I'm suspended
Right?
every
for
other
like
day.
life.
Exactly.
And so we are exposed to
Except you can't see
sexuality
their
early
nipples.
on, but the sexuality that we are shown early on is usually it's about the female figure being in everything
right.
from morning shows to soap operas, and so we are being exposed to that sexuality. It's
Right.
the gay sexuality that it becomes a problem. It's
Right.
like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I've had to look at this all
Oh,
my life.
I honestly
growing up.
do
I mean, how
believe
many
that there-
times in a sex, you see the boobs and everything, and
Right,
all you
right,
want to
right.
see
My
is
first
a little bit
naked
of
person I
hard
saw in a movie was
something.
a topless. And
Yeah,
it was like
no.
a PG-13 movie.
Well, I know they're
right?
trying to normalize, full frontal male nudity in films a little bit more
Amen.
nowadays.
They are doing it.
Finally, but I must
you,
say
Michael
that I
Fassbender.
do find that on social media, even personally from my experience, that there tends to be this little bit of a homophobic aspect to it. I certainly
Absolutely.
know that I'm getting stuff reported and
queens are
removed
getting
all the
reported.
time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And yet I do see a bias there. There's
Right.
definitely an imbalance. There needs to
Yep.
be a better way of monitoring these things.
And let me tell you something. I feel like Instagram is also dying because of it. Because also the gays rule Instagram. Let's be honest.
Oh, honey, we love our devices.
We start the trends that everyone follows.
Absolutely.
We get the clicks, we get the hashtags. Like you look any gay hashtag.
We're like so
is-
popular.
The
You got it.
choreography,
I
the
wanna hang out
TikTok
with us.
dances. Yes.
All right, so that has been our hot topic for On the Rocks for this Pride Month. Woohoo!
topic.
All right, so let's get down to your careers. And going on this theme, Mario, you started your events. I mean, I guess you did your first event when you were like 15 years old.
I did. I started when I was in school. Yeah.
How did you even do that?
I had a fake ID for starters, but no,
I mean, every American has a fake ID.
it's the American
I was
way.
such a goody two shoes. My mom had to take me to my first gay bar, by the way, because I was too scared.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up pretty fast and young,
Yeah,
so
you
I
did.
was out on the streets when I was a teenager, and but I started going to the roller skating rink was my first nightclub, if I really think about it, because I was a roller rat, and we had friends all different ages, and there was the lights and the music, so I feel like that was my first disco, was going to the roller skating rink. Really, I just enjoyed going out, and my chosen family, my friends, when you're a queer kid on the streets as a teenager, your chosen family becomes your entire world. And so, I started going to clubs. It meant something to me. And really, it was just inspired by me wanting to create a type of party that I hadn't seen yet. That's why I started doing it.
Well, and the themes you were fighting, you were dealing with this issue, right? Then Giuliani, who knew that we hated him so much, that we were going to hate him so much?
You knew. You were a trendsetter there.
But he was literally cleaning the streets of New York as you're starting this career.
Well, that was much later, actually. I started it in Seattle days when I was a teenager in the 80s. Yeah, I've been doing this for over 30 years now, which is crazy to think about because I'm only 22.
Yes.
But but then when I moved to New York after high school, yes, I moved to New York, and New York was already starting to sort of homogenize and gentrify, and Giuliani was there doing his thing, and we all know now what a monster he is. But at the time, people did think he was really cleaning up New York and helping the city, but he wasn't helping my peers and my community and the people of color in New York City and the sex workers. It's very important to me that, about sex shaming, it's a very serious issue for me because I believe, our friends, my people in the sex industry, they deserve to have a voice.
Absolutely.
And that's what he was trying to do, clean up, which is basically being homophobic, racist, and, puritanical. Not my scene.
Well, and Mario,
That's why I opened the cock.
Well, and there was this dichotomy happening because you're celebrating sexuality, where literally men are dying because of their sexuality.
Right.
So
that's also a part of it
it's
as
weird.
well. But here's the thing as well. If we weren't so marginalized and so do you know what I mean? When you let a dog out of a cage, even this COVID situation, you let a dog out of a cage, it's going to go on a rampage. And
gonna
unfortunately,
eat other animals, right?
absolutely. And at that point,
that's why it's so
years and
popular.
years ago, that's what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the 90s, when I was starting my work in New York City, we were sort of really feeling the effects of the AIDS pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And we had lost a lot of amazing people. New York City lost a lot of amazing people. I mean, I sometimes I wonder where we would be right now if we had some of these brilliant artists still with us today. It would be a very different culture. I'll tell you that much. But I think people have been scared back into the closet, and we've been sex shamed again.
Right.
And because AIDS was this, gift from God to clean up the society, they quickly realized it was a fucking virus. Excuse my language. We have COVID, and everybody's a call to arms to fix this thing. But how many people died before Reagan even said the word AIDS? Like 17,000 people, I believe. Anyways, it was a real travesty. But in New York City at the time, when I moved there were no more back rooms. Like the sexuality had been a little bit suppressed and oppressed. Yeah. And so I sort of, made it my mission to bring it out and loud. So I opened a club with a back room, and then I ended up opening the cock, and some infamous history.
Yeah.
what I love is that your first New York kind of experience, you did have exposure and kind of hanging out with Michael Alec and James St. James, but they didn't become your people.
No.
Why didn't you click with them?
Well, I moved to New York with superstar DJ Kioki. I don't know if you knew that. We dated.
I did not know.
Yeah.
You dated? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was it?
This was a long time
Was
ago.
it Walter Valderrama?
Are we allowed to ask dating questions now?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so who's the most famous person that you slept with?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Let me think.
Top 5.
I mean,
most well known.
What's the
yeah,
question
not
for?
going to answer. Not going to answer. I guess I drink. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Oh,
okay. you
Okay,
can
so
try.
we have to say this for our truth.
I don't want to out.
ourselves.
I don't want to
Yeah.
out anybody.
Yeah.
Do you have a bottle so we can get
I'm
really drunk
respectable.
and then he can ask
Yeah,
those
yeah,
questions?
I'm respectable.
I mean, if it's a queer, is it a straight guy that we're thinking about, and that's why you can't
No,
answer?
just
okay.
because nobody
Yeah.
needs to know.
Yeah.
None of your damn business.
You know these gossips.
You
these,
Canadians.
right?
I mean,
Getting all in my
So, but-
business.
But when you're talking about somebody like DJ, Kioki, there's that's literally part of all of our nightclub history, even on the West Coast.
Right.
That is our
well,
nightclub history.
the club kid scene, which is what I sort of, moved into, and this you come move my penthouse apartment, and it's gonna be. I move in there. It's just awful to me. Club kids, Michael Alec, Freeze. All sorts of drugs. House music all night long. It just wasn't for me. They were all about narcissism and like drugs, and I think my scene was kind of more about like pot and alcohol and rock and roll. It was just kind of a different energy. So I didn't really fit into the club kid environment. The disco 2000 scene wasn't for me. So I quickly moved out, and some good trans girls took me under their wings, and I just found my own way.
Trans girls do.
They always do. I don't know if you can see my shirt.
Yes.
Yes, girl. So Lyle, on the flip side, when we first see you on the scene, it's on this international kind of reality show, Popstars, clean cut South African boy.
Clean cut.
Gorgeous
cut.
South African boy.
So tell me what that kind of childhood was like. Was it very innocent? It obviously was not the cock.
I mean, it was it was actually really innocent. If I think about it, I think I broke my virginity when I was 18. Honestly,
You broke it.
yeah,
broke
broke it, and it wasn't.
How many pieces did that shatter into?
That
Oh
sounds
my
so
God!
awful.
After 18 years, you could imagine.
Like you could say, I celebrated my, no, but
Listen,
I
I broke my virginity,
18,
and
okay.
it wasn't even
I
my
wanna break
hymen that
your
I broke.
virginity.
Oh wow!
My gay virginity
that
was
would
at
be great.
23.
Really?
Yeah, I was a late bloomer.
So.
Do you remember?
Me?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I am,
What
bitch?
are you saying?
I think
What
she's
are you
trying to be
saying?
shady. She's trying to be shady.
Well, Jesus had just been crucified, so we were all really upset.
I thought it was BC before
Yep.
Christ. No?
Before the
Okay,
cock.
so wait. So tell us about it.
All right. So I was pretty innocent. I played sports with my brothers and all of my friends. I wasn't, I knew I was attracted to guys, but it wasn't something that came very naturally to me because around my neighborhood, I didn't have those kind of influences around to know,
Not in
okay,
South
this
Africa.
is a thing.
It's
you know what I mean?
notoriously not
No.
welcoming. Okay.
No.
Dispel some assumptions.
No.
Wait, back in the day, it was welcoming.
I mean, South Africa, we've got 25 years of gay marriage where America is but a fetus.
Yes.
So
true.
we've
true.
definitely been putting in our work for a very, very long time. In terms of culturally, was it accepted? Yes, it was. Yes, it wasn't. But also, it was about me accepting me to really, you know what I'm saying? I always say, until I accept me, I can't expect anybody else to accept me. So once I was able to accept the fact that, hey, you might like dick and ass, that was
your
a part
verse.
of. Absolutely. Now.
But you have to remember.
Now. Back then, absolutely not.
I mean,
I was
would
like
there
a bro.
even there? Of course, it was a conflict for you, or you would have
Right.
been easily able to accept yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the queer
absolutely.
experience.
But that's the queer experience. So because we don't have enough of those people around us, queer people around us in our neighborhoods and that kind of stuff. Our
TV
parents
at
are
the
not
time.
exposing us enough to those
That's
kind
the
of
big
people
issue. That's the big
that I knew I was different in my community, and I knew that all I wanted to see was the neighbors, whatever. And
I'm sorry, what were you referring to?
dick.
Thank you for clearing that up.
So yeah, and
So
then
were you accepted when you came out? When
I came out at 27, 28, so that was like 5. How dare I tell my age? But it was a late. I came out. I lived a gay. Okay, let's follow the story. You're moving too quickly for me. So yeah,
It's like a Lifetime movie. There's like different.
Right?
Like,
This
what
show is
So-
not that long.
we need to write a movie.
yes.
Anyway, so grew up. Always went. I love the arts. I loved going to watch theater. All of that kind of stuff. I always knew I was different.
Gay.
All gay, absolutely. And then moved to London for 2 years, and that's when I had my first kind of sexual experience. It was with a straight couple that were, gender benders, which I love.
Love that.
How did you find this
swinger.
gender
Just
bender?
I was at a normal straight club, and she came over. She offered me and enticed me with
Jewelry.
and obviously no,
sorry.
just her hot husband, hot boyfriend,
DVDs of Golden Girls.
and I looked at her and she was
kidding me?
cute. She was
Yeah.
cute, and also by then I'd only been with girls.
Okay.
And
That's
that
when you're
I
young,
always,
sex is
you know
sex.
what I mean, right? I've played with the when you're younger, you play. here
Wait,
and
so were
there
you
with
in
your
the
friends or
center?
whatever.
While they were
Not
doing
not
their things?
everyone.
Like, what,
Not the gold
Listen,
star
you're
gaze.
moving too quickly
Set the scene for
for
me.
me.
So she comes up. She says,
She's
"Can you
like,
be our
hey,
third?"
would you be interested in having like da 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 da? And I looked over. I was like, I'm 18 years old, and I always believe
That takes
I've
some guts
always
to ask somebody that, by the way.
always
good for
London.
Oh, okay. Say no more.
Thank you.
Can I have some of the water?
How-
And she came over, gave me a proposal I wasn't ready to deny, because I've always been a sexual person. I always believe don't fucking shy away from your sexuality,
Go for
and
it.
also experience something once. If you don't like it, move on. If you like it,
Okay.
keep going,
on a scale
baby.
of 1 to 10, did you like it? 10 being yes.
Loved it, but when he went down on me, and it was a totally different.
You're
I
like,
knew,
ding,
I
ding,
knew
ding, ding.
where I was
Do
and
you
needed to
know
be.
where that couple is today?
No, and I don't need to know, because I am a flaming homosexual, and I don't think I
Bravo,
want to have
bravo.
a threesome with him again.
No, but maybe
Even
he-
though it opened up the door.
Yeah.
No, I mean English boys are it's a weird thing, like the Irish, all of that kind of thing. They very, very romancy, and they like that kind of stuff. So.
Cute.
So how did you translate that sexual experience into accepting this identity and then that moment coming out to your family?
I went to a bathhouse the very next day.
To tell your family they were there?
To wash up. To wash up.
I
from
lived
this
in
night.
and I lived in London without my family, so that would all happen in London. The next day, I went to a bathhouse.
To like
It
really
was
feel
on.
like-
It was
I
on.
and it was on. It was
You
on.
went
It
from
was
0 to
beautiful,
100.
beautiful,
Was
beautiful,
it like
bold
a-
black
yeah.
man that was there, and the cock was, as we established, and yeah, it was history. The rest was history. Yeah, and then I came
but
out to my parents.
Yeah, this is what I want to hear.
So, and then I started dating a guy that he was my first boyfriend, and kind of I was learning the ropes of this gay life from him, because he'd been so out forever,
Like
and
brunch.
he'd been doing things and was doing the most and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I learned the most from that relationship. I feel like I was cheating on. I was fucking. It was.
The good and the bad
most-
is what you
Right.
learned.
No,
Right.
the bad and
Oh.
the ugly, and then
Oh,
it was good in the beginning, because you know how it goes. Narcissists take you there, and then they,
What's his phone number?
So
I love me a narcissist.
and then so then I got out of that and won Popstars, all of that. But even during my Popstars era, I was very closeted, because I had these young, adoring little girl fans that were like, "Oh my god,
Did
coming
they tell
12."
you if you're gay, don't come out? You have to sign a contract or something?
I mean,
that says?
it wasn't verbalized.
It was an unspoken.
But I kind of
truth.
knew my
Don't
place.
ask, don't tell.
Do you
It's
know what
more
I mean? I kind
common
of
than
knew my
not.
place,
It's more common
but
than
also,
Especially in
not. You don't want to
reality.
limit your market,
Right.
Because it's a fantasy.
Especially-
It's a fantasy.
Especially with
Absolutely.
the young kids. The young kids are the ones spending the money. They're the
right,
ones.
the young girls, especially the
I
the young
completely
white
respect
girls, their
anybody
moms are
that-
bringing them over, and
I respect anyone that keeps their
Right.
sexuality to
but
themselves.
also with Popstars, if you think of Eden's crush, is the one Nicole Scherzinger won before she was in, so that's also Popstars franchise, and there it's you win with other people, so it's a group. So for me, it wasn't just me; it was 3 other people with
Right.
me. So it was, I wish I had, because I think I could have changed a lot for myself back then, and for so many other young South African boys,
But now you can go back and do it all over
no,
again.
they're watching, baby, and they're watching, and it's good.
You've made up for it. You've
Right?
made up for it.
Yeah.
Do you think reality TV hurts the music industry by giving a false impression of what music and
I
career
think
is
reality TV now, I feel like in the beginning there was definitely, like if you think about the first American Idol, the first this show, the first that show, even the first Popstars, it was very much you became a superstar. You know what I mean? Because that's what reality show used to do to you then, and now everything is a reality show.
Right,
Even
right.
every single thing we're living in a reality show.
We are.
Yeah, it's just not.
Are we? Is this a reality show?
Absolutely.
Oh my
right.
God.
Where is my reality show, by the way? Like, I get free reality shows at the bank, by the way.
Well, hook me up too. I'm also looking. So.
By the way, I don't know why, but on the way here, I had this amazing idea for an invention. This is like totally off topic.
You better trademark this.
Okay, I was thinking.
You know how many
Yes.
ideas we've had stolen from the show about new
Oh my
shows,
God.
reality TV?
Guys, this is like
trademark it.
literally the best. I think it's the best idea ever. So I was walking over here. I was driving here in traffic.
It sounds
and
like
I
a
was
stand-up routine. Like, and then what?
I was driving here in traffic, and I was like, I wish I wasn't getting old. Like, I wish that, that I could maintain.
How old are you?
I wish I
How
could maintain.
old are
It's
you?
absurd. Who does that?
No,
No.
I want to ask that question because
No, you don't ask.
I'll tell you, but I wish I could maintain my youth, but I'm really not this person that likes to get injections and whatever. But hang on a second. Why does it have to be, creams or Botox? Why can't we create a cream that freezes your face in the morning? Like
They do. Haven't you seen that where it shows that they rapidly and it stays that way for 6 to 8 hours and then it all falls? I'm not kidding you.
Oh yeah, it's the cream that you go like that, and all of a sudden those giant bags.
But
Yeah.
I've
Well,
seen
there you have it,
It
Adam.
freezes your
But
face.
can you
It's
It
like
been
your
done.
whole
exists.
face?
Yes.
it exists.
If you
It's
literally
not
put
such
it
a
on your
smart
face.
idea.
It's been done.
Oh, never mind then.
Mario,
Sorry, anticlimactic.
Fail. Okay, so back to the
Good
point.
try.
How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
oh no,
I
no, I
don't
hate
know.
when people do that.
I think
and-
only based on certain things, and this is not. I don't say this with offensively at all, but I feel like 27, 26, 28.
I guess everyone's 27 usually.
Well,
I'm so
you
bad
said
at
I
you're
feel
20.
like everyone's.
I thought
said you're
this kid was
22.
27.
What
He was
happened?
like,
Are you older
You said
than
you're
30?
22.
You?
You said you're 22.
Oh,
32
yeah, but
plus
I'm-
tax and VAT.
I'm an elder. I'm a
Wait,
queer
you think
elder.
I'm 27? No. How old do you think I am?
33.
How old do you think I am?
27.
Could be your dad, maybe.
Oh.
I've just seen everything that you've accomplished and the years you've worked for certain. Even if you were like a
And you
senior.
Googled
Yeah,
Listen, the
I
21-year-olds
also have your
these
yearbook
days,
picture
baby.
too.
Exactly.
By the way.
I'm 36
Okay.
Okay.
with very oily skin. So
Okay.
No. No, I would have said younger. Okay.
Me too. You look great.
You do.
thank you.
Mario.
More about me.
Well, Mario, I have a question for you.
Yes,
I want to
darling.
know, what are the biggest assumptions people have about people in the nightlife? What I loved about watching Club King was seeing your circle of friends. We see the popular drag queens. We see the popular comedians. We see the popular socialites, I guess, that are your friends. We see you guys or you folks at brunch. And we see, like, in your natural element where you're talking about family, you're talking about real things. I'm like, that was so great for me to see because I know you and your circle of friends
Yeah.
from going to the club nights, and I envision that you guys, like, at the night are like these catty, funny bitches
Right.
that
Well,
don't want anybody to be friends.
That's
but
the thing about entertainers or artists. Where there's the persona, right? The brand or whatever. Like I've got this schmarmy sort of character that everybody thinks of me as, but obviously there are far more layers to who I really am, and I'm actually just kind of pretty sweet, gentle, laid back dude. I'm not this full player that I sort of present as, but I'm just really trying to make people laugh and make people happy, and also for my business, I like to be sex positive, and that's just part of like the whole brand that word brand is so obnoxious, but yeah, that's and also like for
why?
like Jackie Beat, my bestie, right? She's known for being the biggest bitch on the planet, right? That's sort of her shtick she's been doing for her whole life. In drag, over 30 years in drag, and when in reality she's the sweetest little puppy you're ever gonna meet.
Yeah, I mean, we're all putting on a persona.
Right.
In the public
And we
eye.
are that. I'm definitely that
Absolutely.
guy. I am a bit of a player, but I'm also a completely different
Right.
type of person
So
as
the
well.
Facebook group was right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I also think that there's also, we know some of the promoters, some of the wannabe club kings come into town. They have a great idea. They come into town with the latest go-go boy, the latest drag queen, and then in 5 years you're like, God, whatever happened to them? I think there are some people that are so taken over by that idea of what they feel that they have to be, that they become overcome by that, whether it's the drugs, the alcohol, or them living in this kind of bubble
Right.
that's not
I mean,
reality.
Or
Nightlife-
meeting a sugar daddy.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a sugar daddy.
Nightlife can
Absolutely
have
not, honey.
nightlife can have a bit of a bad rap, and obviously there are dark sides to everything, really.
anything in
and if you
entertainment,
think
by the
about
way.
like alcoholism, and there's a lot of
But as a bar,
Drugs.
as an owner of a
Drugs.
business, though, are you staying away from that so you can focus on the business stuff, or do you?
Well,
also
I
go
mean,
into the
listen, I'm
partying
very
of-
professional. I've been doing this for 30 years, so yeah, I can handle myself. I mean, nobody could ever say, "Oh, I saw Mario; he was so wasted." Like, it doesn't happen. I need to work. I'm talking on the microphone. I'm performing. I'm dealing
You're
with
worried
money.
about other people.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm
right.
and also being a Type A personality kind of helps what I do because I care about. Nobody cares as much as I do about this shit. Like, I'm very detail
What's your star
oriented.
sign?
I'm Cancer.
Oh.
See, I don't really come off as a Cancer. I try to be more of a Leo, but I am very.
How much does that I don't follow astrology at all. Does that really play into dating from your
Yes, it depends if you
into the
believe it.
microphone, sweetie? It's a radio show.
Yes. Yes, it does. It does. So actually, on our app, we have astrology signs for everyone to use, and we also give you your daily horoscopes because people need to feel confident. They need to feel inspired every single
Yeah.
day. So yes, a lot of people do. There's dating apps that are totally just based on matches with astrology signs. I'm a Virgo. I'm anal retentive.
I'm Virgo.
also
I got that
type
from
A.
you.
Wait a
I'm
minute,
very
I'm Virgo,
controlling.
but we couldn't
You
be
guys
more
are
different
wild.
than each other.
My
Really?
my partner's
Why?
my partner's a Virgo. You guys are crazy.
But I couldn't be more different. So he's a Virgo,
But
and I know
beautiful.
No.
couldn't be more different.
Virgo.
Double
I
Virgo,
got-
rising Virgo as well.
I got Virgo from him when I walked in.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
but
kicked
you and
my
I couldn't be
camera.
more different.
Why?
I mean, like, we couldn't be more
No.
You think I'm a-
I see the
I feel like you think I'm
similarities.
a
I see the
Republican.
similarities.
different. Yeah, I kinda do.
Oh God.
A
Just so
Canadian
you know-
Republican, ladies and gentlemen.
I am not.
I don't.
Okay,
think so.
thank God. Thank God, because things would get ugly.
I mean, June
It's a
had to go
war.
to Canada.
I have
Anybody
no
watch
patience.
Handmaid's Tale?
So,
No?
Mari, I do want to talk a little bit more about the relationships you have established. We know that you are not only friends with, but you also work with some of the most iconic names. And the word iconic gets thrown away or thrown around
It
so
sure
many
does,
times.
doesn't it? God, I'm so tired of hearing that word iconic and legendary left and right.
But
It's
you
like
literally have.
Tina Turner is iconic and legendary.
Right.
Let's keep it real.
Whitney Houston
Yes.
is iconic.
Yes.
But in the nightlife, you
But-
literally have become friends and worked with these icons that
Right,
continue to
right.
work year after
Legends,
year.
legends,
generation.
because we're old and we've been doing this forever. But no,
That's
also
what a legend is.
Also
right?
because they
Thank you.
are the most talented, brilliant, like tastemakers. Like when I think about the girls that I work with, Jackie Beat, Sherry Vine, legendary drag queens who really did help create what drag is today. And I don't think people realize that. And I was trying to toot their horn. I mean, Jackie Beat created an aesthetic of makeup. She's the first one to do, one woman full hour-long shows. Nobody was doing that at the time. Sherry Vine was doing her sketches and her parodies. I mean, these are things that,
That
didn't
went
just
viral.
they didn't come out of
Right,
nowhere.
yeah.
These are things that someone did first, right?
Do
And
you
I
think-
happen to know these girls. These are the girls that I've worked with. I've been working with them for over 25 years. We have a little theater company. In fact, we're bringing back the Golden Girls
Golden Girls with the Z.
live.
It's Golden Girls with the Z, not Golden Girls
Yeah,
with the S,
I'm
'cause
so
Golden
excited.
Girls-
It's
not-
our first time back on stage in over a year and a half of this horrible lockdown. So I'm so excited to get back on stage with my sisters.
Do you think that the term legendary or icon would exist in our space?
Well, I
right
mean,
now?
everything, you think about this queer lingo that we all use
Uh-huh.
in Drag Race, and everybody is like, yes, and
Iconic.
legendary, and iconic.
Because
I-
everything becomes a
God,
hashtag.
like-
Well, it all
Without
derives.
meaning.
It all comes from queer POC culture, New York City
Right.
in the '80s. This is where it all derives from.
Right.
All these little terms came from people of color in New
Right.
York City in the '80s. So even most of our greatest culture comes from people of color. Actually, in my opinion. So certainly
The
in-
death drop. The death
You
drop is
have
not a drag race
it.
institution, by the way.
There you
Um,
have it.
so-
But you didn't answer the question, though.
What was the question?
The question
I'm not
was-
listening. I'm too self-absorbed to
was the
listen to
question?
anyone.
No, I
Well, you're
want
an
to ask.
icon, so it's okay.
Oh, do you
Oh,
think
I'm
that
iconic.
do you think that icons or legends would exist in our kind of generation? Like, who do you?
I think that's the thing about like
It's
the
weird, I
reality
don't think
TV
so.
world we live in, and this kind of no
Such a
disrespect to
controversial
reality
question.
TV,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm just saying, the way I think about an artist or a legend or an icon is somebody who put in the time, who put in the work,
Absolutely.
who
Took
trained
chances.
their
A
skill set
trailblazer, a
and
trailblazer.
became
my God.
yes, and there are so many
Preach.
iconic legends that have not been celebrated and are not
Yeah.
acknowledged, and
Yeah.
but that's just part of the great injustice of this society. Like that's
Right.
just the world we live in. There are people that are like TikTok famous and are millionaires now, and then
Overnight.
there are people that I know that have been created aesthetics and styles of music or fashion, that have always lived on the fringe and the underground. They're still today struggling in New York City or wherever they might be. So it's hard to watch, but the struggling artist is a term, for good reason.
I have a gay club question
Yes,
for you.
girl.
Okay. So I did some research.
Oh, wow.
Just so you know, before I came here. I didn't get to ask any of my questions, but this is really important. It's weighing on me. So,
so you know.
30
I'm here to help.
Just so you know, that was the
As
Jew
your
in
queer
you.
elder.
I
Oh,
don't
there
mean
is
to
so
say
much
anything.
Jew in
As
him.
my queer super elder,
Wow.
I do have a question
you
for you.
son of a
The
bitch.
icon
So,
of the table.
Look at this
As
skin. Touch this
you do
skin.
have amazing
Touch
skin,
all
by the
of
way.
it. Thank you, darling.
Okay, so 30% of
Don't
gay
guess
bars.
how old I am.
30% of gay bars in the U.S. have closed in the last 10 years.
Right.
And a lot of people say gay culture is not dying, but it's expanding to include to the straight world.
That makes
but
sense.
we don't have places for the gay community to congregate.
Right.
What are your thoughts on the future of gay clubs in America? Will they exist or will they change? And if
I
so,
believe
what will it look like?
they will exist. I believe they're very important still to this day, even with all the visibility and the awareness, which I think is wonderful, especially for the young queers and the young trans people in the world. It's great. It's great to see this. Although me personally, I haven't really enjoyed this assimilation of heteronormativity. I don't really
boring.
don't really want to be a part of that. I liked being underground. I liked being
Leave
on the
us
fringe.
alone.
Yeah, I had a lot more fun when I was completely unaccepted by society. But I think it's great for the young kids because I hate the suicide rates and I hate to see all the homeless youth.
Right.
But we were pretty tough back in the
Right.
day. But it's always been a hard road. But yes, I think that throughout this time, we have lost a lot of queer venues. We are lost a lot of venues in general thanks to this pandemic, but queer venues in particular, I think it's part of this assimilation and this acceptance. It's not as important as it used to be to have our own sanctuaries and safe spaces. I don't like that term either, but I still think it's essential because regardless of where we are in the world, we haven't really changed that much. This society is a
Absolutely.
mess.
Same, but
and
different.
there are way too many Trumpers out there and conservative, which I don't think is conservative. I think it's very liberal to have such dangerous perspective. I consider myself to be conservative, but I'm the most liberal person that there is.
I mean, there's a beauty-
Homophobia, xenophobia, transphobia, it's rampant all over this world. And in our society,
Well, people are
and
scared of what
we
they don't
still
understand
exactly
also, right?
It's rampant even in our own community. By
Oh,
the way,
very
too.
much, very much in our community.
There's a beauty in being conservative. There is this kind of, but when you conserve, what was the word I'm looking? Conservative.
Conservative?
When it impacts other people negatively, that's when you're being
Okay.
I think I was just flipping the tables on the term
What- okay.
conservative and
Yeah, yeah,
progressive.
yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't make sense to me.
How do you feel? I actually want to know how all of you feel about bachelorette parties at a gay bar.
I hate them.
Like,
I think
my-
it's
listen,
the most
is my
obnoxious.
community a joke to you that you're bringing
Absolutely.
a
I think it's the
bachelorette
most
party through here?
obnoxious
No.
thing
What is that?
ever because here's the thing.
Wait a
A
minute.
lot of these girls
Wait a
also
minute.
come to our gay clubs and they
feel safe.
bastardize our gay culture. They think they also hip. They think we got it from them. It's very weird.
I love women. I love women. And I love having women around. As long
women.
as they
Our biggest
know.
ally right now is in the White House as a woman, as the first female vice president is our
Okay,
ally.
absolutely,
So
but she
women
also
do have a very important role in our
understands.
history.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
I
what
mean,
I'm saying-
lesbians saved us in the 80s, through the pandemic. The lesbians were there to pick up the pieces.
1000%. But I'm
trans
talking
woman
about.
started our pride.
I'm not talking about.
I
I'm
know.
talking about heterosexual.
No.
Women.
I-
heterosexual women that come out to our spaces that don't know our
I've seen
culture.
gay guys that act
don't.
disrespectful
Yeah,
in our
that's
spaces.
true. It's true.
Absolutely, but it's
But I'm just
still
saying that the
our
bachelorette thing
space.
is.
I
Do you
think
know
it's
what I mean?
important to
I just-
respect know where you are and respect
Right, that part.
don't be tone deaf.
Yeah.
And you get those
Right.
screaming bachelorette girls, and listen, it's tedious. It's annoying, and they need to
And it's obnoxious.
tone it down and know where they are. Now, I'm not trying to edit anybody,
Right.
but maybe I am a little bit. Like, be aware and
We're
respect.
not a circus. The way
Right.
that
Because
TMZ
also-
comes to West Hollywood to take pictures of the gays
Right.
really bothers me.
Oh my goodness!
So
Yeah.
there you go. That's how I feel
But
about
then
the
but we've all been at the Abbey where there's like
I'm.
well okay.
Have you?
We have been.
Okay.
We have been.
But,
I
but,
love the
but like the
Abbey.
TMZ bus will come up and there's like a family that clearly are visiting on their AARP card
is
and they're
their
like,
Pride
what
Parade,
is happening?
or the Pride
And then the
Parade.
Abbey says, okay, let's have some communication. They'll go with treats and cookies for everybody. And then all of a sudden there's just like this, oh, we're all human and we're all sharing
Right.
this
We're
moment. So
animals
it's a
at the zoo,
moment.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't want these bachelorette parties at my gay leather sex party. I mean, it's a little awkward.
But they're not there.
No, they generally
But
are
also,
not.
I'll say this: the straight girls are tipping a lot of the go-go dancers and
Well, the
drag
go-go dancers,
queens.
yes, because they're
I'm all about a diverse crowd. At my events, I love having all different types of people there coexisting and having a great time.
Right.
But they're generally predominantly
I
gay.
feel like
there's also
one
a
of-
tokenism with the gay culture, right? Like with all these reality shows, all these great
everybody
women
wants their gay best friend to go shopping with, whatever.
It's
Like, bitch, I don't want
obnoxious.
to take you shopping.
It's obnoxious.
But the phrase
We're
"my
really good at
gaze"
shopping, though.
drives me
But-
crazy. I'm not your gay.
There's
not
also the
your
term
side
fag
chick.
hag or fruit fly, which I think is very disrespectful too.
See, I love it. To me, it's a classic. I don't know.
I
like to stick with the classics. I think fag hags.
What's a fruit
I know
fly?
fag hags that really love that term and they
Yeah.
embrace it and they're
Yeah.
proud fag hags and that's just
But are
maybe
they a
it's
hag?
it's a term. It's a classic term, and I think it's like we're getting into political correctness, areas. And there's a lot of things that I respect about that, about righting the wrongs of our history and trying to evolve.
Yeah.
And I'm all about evolving. I'm doing my best, but we also have to respect our elders and respect how other people identify that came before us.
Right.
These are the people, like the word tranny, a big controversial word tranny, that a lot of my friends, the people that I grew up with, transgender friends, like
Love
to
the word
identify
tranny.
as tranny.
Absolutely,
It's
and
like,
I think
it's
it's-
almost as if the younger people are essentially asking us to once again be offended or hurt by something.
Right.
I'm not asking anybody to be hurt by anything.
Right. And there's a term in South Africa. It's basically the word faggot, it's called morphe, and it's like when I was growing up, I mean, when people said it, I was like, oh my god. Now I'm like, yes, morphe, like
Right.
Well,
and
if we
own
it,
reclaim our
they
language.
can't fucking own who we are.
You own it now.
Right.
Absolutely.
But the word faggot,
I-
which you just said,
don't-
that is a very triggering. The word trigger is real.
Right.
It's a word that it has a lot of blood on its hands.
Right,
Till this
right,
day,
right.
everyone I knew who was queer, whether you were trans or even lesbians, like if you were part of the tribe,
Right.
back in our day it was a tribe, and we were all about not being labeled.
Yeah.
Today it's all about people want to be seen, they want to be identified, they want to be labeled, they want to have a voice. I respect it, but I come from a time when we were just, you were part of the tribe or you were not part of the tribe, and we were all called fag.
Yeah.
And we were
I think
beat
we all
in the
have
streets.
at one point in our life we have all been called that.
Absolutely.
So that's a word that I struggle with. I even, there's two words that I don't use, and that's one of them. And I challenge myself sometimes when I use it, even like I did just
Yeah.
now, it bothers me,
Yeah.
right? So I question whether or not that word should be
Yeah.
used at all, because even till this day, it has a lot of power,
Yeah.
and it's a very dangerous word, and so that's how I feel.
We shouldn't be using it.
Yeah.
I mean, why
But,
not?
but it's funny because I've been in a circle of friends where it's actually a term of endearment.
Oh,
like when you
right.
say,
For sure.
like, hey girl.
Yeah.
So I've been told by a few trans friends that I shouldn't be saying hey girl. I call everybody hey girl. Poor Kurt here with like a kid on the way. Hey girl.
Well,
but I
honey,
shouldn't
yeah.
be saying that.
right,
don't
and
mind it,
honey,
though.
I say honey a lot to girls,
But
and
that's
that could be offensive.
Or a circle of friends be like, using that.
We all know that intent means everything. It's not the language; it's the intent behind it that
But
really
also,
matters.
What I
to
did
be,
learn-
you need to understand your surroundings too, right?
I don't need
No,
to
no,
do
no, no.
nothing.
No, no.
If you know that that's offensive
Okay.
to someone, don't call them honey.
But here's the
I
thing:
would be
what
offended
I
if someone called me
learned,
honey.
what I learned during this BLM year that we've had, that we should all be having, is even the off-color, just things that were
That was racist, what you just said.
no, but you know what I mean. But even things that we thought were funny within our own community,
Yeah.
even jokes with our black friends,
Right.
not funny anymore.
Right,
And
I
so
mean,
you do
you know,
have to.
like,
I
I
I
I-
think we
so
live in a
much.
world of political correctness,
Like, which could
and
go too far.
sometimes oversensitivity.
Yes.
But there is a line. There is super sensitive, and I feel like, and I'm going to say this
'Cause people
because
have
I
died
am the
because of
only
this insensitivity.
non-American here. Americans,
sorry,
oh,
what?
Canadian,
You're
oh,
close enough.
you're, America. I know you
Except
guys hate
Canada.
it. You hate it. I'm going to say this. Americans are so super sensitive to the point of hypersensitivity. And I feel like in South Africa, yes, we've overcome in the last, 20 odd years since we became got rid of apartheid and all of that kind of stuff. We're still we joke about race. We joke about these kind of things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not in a bad way. When it becomes bad, we know a bitch that's That, you know what I mean? But we can still laugh about it. We can laugh about our diversity, our different cultures, all of that kind of stuff. Because even when white people say, "Oh, I don't see color," I was like, "Bitch, you see crayons.
Right.
You see the blue. You see the red. You see all of these kind of
definitely
things.
see-
You see color."
That's
that
half a second.
term for
Come
me, all of those kind of
drives
things,
me
is
crazy.
just like. That's,
Well, I have very
So
mixed
get
feelings about the whole subject because
sensitivity.
we're trying to have a revolution.
Right.
We're trying to grow. We're trying to evolve. Some of us are. And part of that is the political correctness aspect, which Mel Brooks famously said that political correctness will be the death of comedy.
Right.
And there's something to be said for that. And also not respecting our elders and the trailblazers and the people that came before us.
Yeah.
We need to really listen up,
Yeah.
and particularly like the trans, our older trans folks and how they like to be identified. I believe their situation and what they believe should be of more importance to us. And also a lot of it has to do with this sex shaming stuff and all this sex positivity that I'm talking about is the idea, like for the word tranny, for example, there's been a great offense to that word because it's associated with sex work, which we have to remember the history of our transgender sisters. They didn't have a lot of opportunities. They really still don't have, it's still the average lifespan of a transgender woman is 30, I believe, which is a horrific statistic. So the fact that we're going to judge that word because of it being associated with tranny hooker or adult business, that offends me because that's saying that these girls their voice doesn't matter and their legacy doesn't matter because I respect them as much as any other person, if not more. So I just feel like, that's my
just
take.
Know your audience. I think also for me, I'm in South Africa I'm a colored person. In South Africa, it's an actual race. Where in America, if you said colored, it's absolutely derogatory.
And that's language.
No, absolutely, all of that. But it also just
And it
just
changes,
makes me
and language changes, and
It does.
norms
That's
change.
Just like if
And
you want to
hopefully-
add some more colors to the rainbow flag.
Right.
go
Well, look at the
ahead.
word. Look at the word
Do
queer.
it.
The word queer is so embraced. And
My mom
so,
texted from the chat room saying, is she allowed? So my mom wanted to do a great post for Pride, especially this year.
Yeah.
She was part of the PFLAG national campaign.
Aw,
she was so
Mom.
afraid. She had to look at articles. She had to look at Google. She had to
She's
look,
wonderful.
But she was afraid of saying the wrong thing. So she's
Good.
stressed about
Well,
this
that's
post. I'm like,
beautiful.
but shouldn't we just be speaking from our heart?
Yeah.
And the fact that one of our allies was so afraid to make a post, a positive post
Yeah.
about Pride,
That's
because she was
unfortunate.
so afraid of how it would affect my show, how it
Absolutely.
would affect her role as an ally. That's a problem.
that's
to me.
what makes
here's
an
what I'm gonna
ally, though.
say,
That
too.
really is what makes an
Here's
ally.
what I'm gonna say too. Especially with this whole BLM movement, all of that kind of stuff. My partner is Italian Greek. He's grew up in.
What half is
in
Italian, what
Alma-
half is Greek?
Well, wouldn't you like to know? There's no pictures out there, honey. So
There's literally no nude pictures of you, by the way. Our audience let me know that. I was like, okay. Weird, but okay.
So, wait, what was my point?
Well, we could schedule a photo shoot for
during
right after
I
this.
was gonna say, who's
I
the
mean,
cat with
who's
cameras?
paying me?
I've got my camera. Oh.
Nobody's paying me. I'll tell you that much.
So even with that, when he made posts, I would proofread them because there is a fine line, and I'm not saying that your mom hasn't gone through because I'm sure she's super she's educated herself
But what's the problem with
beyond
that? I
bounds
think
and all of
that's
that kind of
totally
stuff.
fine.
But he'd make me proofread that, and I think that's a great thing because sometimes even as an ally, remember when Tiffany Pollard said, "Oh, bitch," on that show when she said, "You look like a man," and she was talking to a heterosexual woman, and a lot of our community, LGBT, trans, all of that,
We all say things that are
took
just-
up in arms, and Tiffany Pollard is one of the biggest allies, but yet was still so uneducated in the fact that what she said was super, super offensive to who we are, to trans women out there, all of that kind of stuff. And that's why I think it's cute that your mom does think that way because that's what an ally.
I agree.
feel like
That
a
is what an
real
ally is,
says, "Oh, good."
But
God,
we're also talking about
is
somebody
this
who has
gonna
spent
be-
hours and hours and hours volunteering,
Right,
being
right.
a speaker at things. It's like
No, I
it's
certainly
sad
think we
that
are
we've gotten to this
we are
point
too
now.
prickly. We are
Absolutely.
hypersensitive. We need to lighten
Absolutely.
up. Because
Absolutely.
life is too short, Let's like I said, back in our day, we were all part of the tribe,
Right.
and when I say like the word, the reason I said don't care for the term safe spaces is because I think I've been creating safe spaces my whole life. Because to me, what a safe space is where you can say whatever the fuck you want
But
without
also-
worrying about.
But you can't
But
always
also
do
know
that,
your
though.
audience, though.
Wait, wait,
You've
wait.
got to know your
But you
audience,
know what
though.
we're-
Let's
Yeah,
be
but
honest.
wait, I would like to
Because-
say something. My name's on the marquee. So
Okay.
Mario, I have
Barbara
to tell you,
Walters has emerged.
coming to West Hollywood from Orange County, coming out late in life, and my sexual, the sex part of West Hollywood was still not part of my life. My experience was going to the Abbey, going to Rage, which was fun, and the music was great. Mario,
Was it?
No, because that's what I was
hater.
introduced to, right?
No, I'm kidding.
And I met my best friend in my very first time at the Abbey. But Mario, I stepped into your event, and it was the first time that.
You had real fun? I'm kidding.
But it wasn't
You
even
had a
about having
gangbang?
fun. No.
Right.
Sounds like fun to me.
But it wasn't even about that. It was that being comfortable to say certain words,
Yeah.
to see certain things,
Right.
to just like literally, I felt
Just-
my shoulders.
Yeah.
And like we're all family
I'm
here.
so happy to hear that. You know?
And this is what formed my West Hollywood experience, and this is what formed my difference of like being the pretty Jim Bunny in West Hollywood, or feeling comfortable in my sexuality by seeing beautiful people. By the
Yeah.
way, and it really formed how I wanted to experience my gay life in West Hollywood, and
Because
it really helped
again,
me.
it's intent. Intent is what really matters when it comes to all of these things. So can't we just use a little critical thinking, lighten up a little bit, and try and think about who we're talking about? You know, your mother, this wonderful woman who's an ally, who's trying to be the right person and say the right thing. Like, let's just give her the benefit of the doubt. You know, there
That's
are a
my
lot of
thing.
horrible people out there, so I understand why we are trying to. So we're writing this fine line right now, but
burning?
I think we are. Too prickly.
Are you having a stroke? Jesus Christ!
No.
and then the flip side to that is what I was starting to talk about earlier, which is the word queer, which everyone has embraced in this way that is just so celebratory and so easy. It just rolls off the tongue as if somehow this word is just this beautiful, magical, lovely little word that just blossomed from a seedling. This word is a horrific word. The
My
history of queer.
texted-
and I know she's referring to queer.
She did say, she says, am I allowed to say queer again?
Right. And you know what? I appreciate that because queer still offends some of,
lot of
some people a little bit older than myself. But I even remember the reclaiming of the word queer more than one time in my personal history. So this was a word that was used against me while I was being fag bashed.
Now,
They
do you
used the
think-
word, the FAG word,
And
and they used the word queer.
I feel very uncomfortable with that word personally.
Which one?
Queer.
Okay.
I don't identify that way, and when someone says it to me, I feel like I'm in.
But
a 12-year-old
because we
kid.
No,
don't,
but here's the thing,
but
like,
because
and-
we
and-
don't identify with it, does it mean that it has to offend
But
us
I'm telling
in
you,
terms of
It
like,
has blood on its hands. That's my simple point. Say it with reverence. Know what you're saying when you use that word. The kids today, they don't know. They haven't experienced the pain that goes with that word.
I took a university course. This was I went to Chapman University. Part of my degree was sexual studies, and there was a class, queer history. I did not even have any idea of where we came from, the people that have shed their blood, and the title was Queer History. And so it was a powerful moment because just what you said, queer, that term has changed. And so this was perfect because it is our queer history, good and bad.
But if America doesn't even have Black history, or like how the
Tulsa
hell
Massacre,
are they
which I
going to
just learned
have
about this
queer
year.
history in schools if they don't even have that?
Well,
You know
also
what
the
I mean?
problem
I'm
is
like,
when you really, when you're honest, when you're in your safe space and you think you can say what you want to say, you get canceled.
Yeah.
And it's like we're all ignorant in some way, shape, or form. Even when we have these
How dare
conversations.
you.
Right.
Some people say, well, you said the wrong word, you're
Right.
done. I'm not going to use your app anymore. I'm not going to buy your underwear anymore. I'm not going to go to your clubs anymore, or whatever, or not going to go to your show anymore, or whatever it is. It's really sad.
Yeah,
it
I
is.
just think we need to take it from where it comes, and if your mom comes from the right place. Using the word queer again, we said that some people are.
Listen,
sensitive.
I'm very
Do you think that a
happy-
lot of people in our community are super sensitive in terms
As
of
somebody
like,
that has experienced the darkness of the word queer and has been a part of the reclamation of the word queer, I'm happy. I'm all about let's take the power away from all of this language. I want us all to lighten up a little bit. Let's just be, let's use our critical thinking like I said before, and let's just be part of the tribe like we were before. We know who our allies are. I think we can feel when somebody's not an ally and they're using these words in a different form. So, I just wish we could all just lighten up a little bit. I love that we're evolving, and I love that the kids today want to be heard and want to be seen.
Yeah.
But I think they need to just know where they came from a little bit, acknowledge their, the people that came before them, and try and have a little bit of reverence for that.
And use it as a talking point of building a bridge. So if I use your wrong pronoun, don't yell at me and be
No.
mad at me.
Yeah.
No, I
Talk
think
to me about
absolutely.
it. Guess
Right.
what? Next time I see you, you better believe I'm
Right.
going to use it with reference.
Right. We
okay,
should be able to talk. We should be
on
able
that
to talk.
note, we are going to lighten things up.
This was like literally the real. Like
But
I don't
I'm
know, like
angry
the
now.
real, the real meets the view. Like this was a very.
But this
I
is real.
mean,
like the four of us
this is
couldn't
the
be more
sh-
different
Right.
in our lives. So we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to play a little truth or sip. We're going to lighten things up a little bit. But we have a word from our sponsor, Uberlube, to keep us going on. All right.
Lovely.
So when we come back, truth or sip, and we are going to take a peek at Lyle's video. During quarantine, we've all been a little antsy lately, maybe causing some friction at home with our loved ones, or with our loved ones, lefty and righty. I'd like to introduce you to the official lube of On the Rocks radio show, Uberlube, the luxury lube used and appreciated by our crew and host. Feeling is everything. Excitement, intimacy, anticipation, contentment. Uberlube lets you feel all the things you want to feel, and it was created with sex in mind, but with the formula so pure and perfected, why limit it to just one area of your life? Sex! Uberlube makes sex better for everyone by reducing friction, not sensation. Style! From taming frizz and conditioning ends to achieving a smooth, healthy sheen, Uberlube is a multi-purpose styling solution for salons and at home. Sport! Whether you're training for a triathlon or just keeping in shape, Uberlube provides long-lasting, high-performance chafe protection. And when travel is a thing again, check out Uberlube's Good To Go Traveler, perfect for your purse, pocket, gym bag, or carry-on luggage. The Good To Go Traveler features the same Uberlube product in a discreet traveler for your encounters with other discreet travelers. Mile High Club, anyone? If you are caught with your pants down, don't you dare be caught with anything else but Uberlube, bringing you the luxury in lube since 2002, headquartered in Chicago. And you know they know a lot about sausages in Chicago. Head to Uberlube.com to stock up. Who knows how much longer we're going to be home alone? Your loved ones will thank you, lefty and righty.
It's crazy. I'm not the enemy, babe.
I literally don't know.
Uberlube. Anyway, we just had this quick conversation in the studio because we know it's on the rocks and we have fun and we drink with celebrities. But this is Pride Month as we talk about the real stuff happening within our community. So now we're going to have a little bit of fun, but these are the conversations you need to be having at your fun brunch, at your dates, whatever. This is what we should be doing. Okay, truth or sip?
Okay.
Kurt, go ahead and introduce us.
Oh my God.
Truth or sip? On the Rocks with Alexander.
Do you want some of mine?
Yeah, okay. It's your mine.
No, I am now. I needed to be prepared.
All right, here we go. So truth or sip?
Pure vodka.
Yes. You gentlemen have to...
I'm hammered already.
Yes, you're so hammered.
Can I drink out of the flask?
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want.
babe.
But we have like a branded glass here, too.
And a branded
Okay,
flask.
wait,
so
I'll
you
wait.
either have to answer the truth or take a sip. Okay. All right, Adam, you're first. With your partner, with your hubby, right? You've been traveling a little bit. What is your biggest pet peeve about traveling with him that you haven't told him? Truth or sip? In the microphone, sweetie.
My biggest pet peeve. Oh my gosh.
And you guys have been together for a while, so
10 years.
Wow.
My
That's
biggest
30 years in gay years.
yeah. And
My-
traveling with somebody is a whole different. Can't.
I really I really don't have a pet peeve. I love him.
Oh
to
my
death.
God.
Like
Like,
pet
he
peeve. Of,
packs
oh,
too
okay.
much or something?
I have one. Yeah, he does definitely pack too
He
much.
gets on my nerves, and
He-
I don't even know who he is.
He's in fashion. No, here. Okay,
Stupid.
it doesn't really get on my nerves, but it shows you that I'm a commoner, and he's not. So
Okay.
we traveled to LA, and he sat in business class, and I sat in coach all the way back in like.
Don't you have the
the
same bank
bathrooms.
account?
Yeah, we do. But I don't believe in spending money on sitting in first class. I sit where I want to sit.
Oh,
That's
that
interesting.
didn't answer the question,
and
though.
he should be sitting with me.
Yeah, I do.
Wait,
believe
what was
that
the
is-
pet
That
peeve?
would be a big.
Oh, okay. That's a pet peeve.
Yeah, I'd be mad too.
Except our luggage was checked for free, and you know I like to save $1. So
What
I'm
I
fine.
heard in that story was you're cheap.
Frugal.
I'm frugal.
He identifies
still
as
You know
frugal.
what? But
Mario
you know
here
what?
identifies as frugal.
I identify as frugal. I need you to respect
Yes.
that.
And that is why I have money in the bank.
Oh,
And there you
yes,
go.
Adam.
Okay.
You mean
Adam,
you
are you
guys
s-
have money in the bank?
I
Adam,
have my separate account
are you
too.
Schnorrer?
Yes.
I don't understand couples that have separate bank accounts.
I do.
You don't.
I ain't sharing a bank
You
account.
haven't had a boyfriend since like.
Well, now you know.
do you guys have a separate bank account?
I mean, right now, yeah.
You've been together for 4 years. It's probably
I mean,
a thing.
I was very nervous about the joint bank account situation.
Yeah, I mean, why are we joining our bank accounts?
After 4 years.
We're individuals.
Why would they?
It's gross.
What does 4 years have to do with it?
Gross
Oh,
that you
Mario,
have-
the eternal single man.
I love
know
that
what?
you have a joint bank account.
Do you know
and
what?
I think
Wait, I have to say,
It's crazy.
From Club King, one of my favorite moments was you having dinner with your mom, and she's like, "I just want you to be happy," and you're like, me being single is making me happy.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
Good. Makes me happy.
But
I'm
when
an
you're ready
independent
for
woman.
romance, you will let me know.
I sure will.
But
Because
he
yeah.
could
we're gonna
never.
get you.
He could be having romance. Doesn't mean you have to be in a
We're
relationship.
gonna get you schmored.
No, but I feel,
I want to get
But
schmored.
I feel
Need some of
I
that
feel like
schmore
everyone
money.
needs a person, and multiple people maybe, but at least one
throuple.
person.
Okay,
I don't
Lyle.
really. I don't know. I have lots of good people. You know what I mean?
Lyle,
Yes.
truth or sip? Have you hooked up with a fellow Andrew Christian model?
No.
What he thought long and hard about.
Yeah.
it.
No,
that was
actually,
weird.
I
Like,
mean,
that's
there's
really
so
weird.
many Andrew
Well,
Christian
he's-
models. There's a few.
Right.
And
so-
all of those boys are hot.
I'm
so
sure I have. but,
Listen. And no, I mean, they're all pretty hot. A lot of them have become like my sisters,
But you haven't like
No.
Okay.
A lot of people also assume that when we on set, we all just gangbang each
Oh,
other.
it's not that at all. It's not that at all.
No.
Number one, all of them are incompatible. It's like how many
Right.
bottoms can you put on one funnel?
And I can't even
Bumping
between
buns
right,
all
it's like
day.
between-
between
Scissor
Arad
sisters.
and I, we can't even understand each other half the time.
after
so
you
we're
ask-
just
That's
like,
Ah, with Lucas.
your time, my time. Okay,
I have
let's
another
go.
question after you ask this question. All right.
Okay, Mario.
Yes.
Have you taken a go-go boy home?
Absolutely.
You know, I used to have a rule not to sleep with the talent.
Yeah.
The talent. My staff, my
It's
associates.
a talent.
It's talent.
But after
And I
you
wanted
see
to keep it.
them,
I
worked
wanted to
for
keep
you,
it
right?
professional, and so I did that for many, many years. I kept a very professional
And
relationship
then?
with them, and I think I respected them, and they respected me. And when you're kind of like a sex worker and you work in that field, you can be disrespected. So they have experience with that. So I think I got the best work out of them because I was very professional with them. But after about 20 years, I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna screw them all.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And you did?
Yeah.
That's why it's BFD on Thursdays and there's nothing
Listen,
on Fridays because
you're
nobody
a-
can walk.
And here's the thing: you are of. Yeah.
It's a dangerous business,
Just do
though,
it.
to mix
Sounds like
business
not a safe
and
space.
pleasure.
It's consensual. Do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have,
I can
I'm
sleep
a
with a dancer
grown
now,
woman.
Okay,
and they
here-
still do their job. All that time I wasted not
Absolutely.
sleeping with my dancer.
they're just gonna have a weird look at their face. Like,
Do all of you guys remember on Logo? I think it was they were doing a Bachelor
when they
The
had
gay-
money to produce
the
stuff?
gay Bachelor. Okay, the gay Bachelor.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but
What was it called?
What
was
do
Gay
we think
Bachelor
of it?
called? Someone on Facebook.
I think it was called "I'm a White Guy" with white guy problems.
Right.
Yeah, that show
Very
should have been so much more
privileged.
interesting.
Boy Meets World. It was Boy Meets Boy.
Yes.
What?
It was Boy Meets something.
That makes sense.
Definitely.
No,
not-
it
no,
really
Prince
was.
Charming. Little something on Prince Charming.
Yes.
Oh
I think
yeah,
you
we
were
had
right.
one of
Lance
them on.
Bass or
Yeah,
something.
it was a
Anyways.
really invigorating.
So my question
It
is,
was awful.
shouldn't the show have been so much better because everyone in the house should have been sleeping together? What, like the drama should have been in the house. Who cares about?
They
the
were,
Bachelor?
but because it was our first foray into gay dating reality show, we couldn't show that. We had to desexualize this.
Right.
We-
Also,
okay,
They
but
were
also,
sleeping
let's
in
be
bunk
honest.
beds.
we
They were.
hear that
Sleeping in
T.S. Madison may be doing a spin-off of The Bachelor for the LGBTQ community. And
I
I
would-
That is
Why?
100%
But here's
true.
my thing:
Die.
is
100%
why.
true. I got the casting notes.
Okay, I'm dying for that. We interviewed her on our show.
Oh, she's the best. I
And, like,
adore her.
Okay.
If Logo is not producing this, you need to be producing this ASAP.
Logo
Everyone's
doesn't
going to
have
watch
money
it.
right now. Mario.
Doesn't she have a new show coming out? I thought she did. Anyways,
I have
okay, all
seen
right,
that.
let's talk.
Mario, least
Yes.
favorite of your events. You were like, well, that didn't work, but people still came. So
You
I'm
know,
gonna do
I
it.
have a really good track record. I'm super lucky that most everything I've done has been successful. But you know what? I
That's
do
not what I'm
have
saying. Your
a
least favorite, your personal least favorite.
least favorite party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
was I was getting to that. If you'd let me.
No, but I'm saying-
Jesus.
She's answering
Right.
like
But
a
it was
Miss
still-
Universe.
You get
Sex
30
happened.
seconds
Miss
to
Universe,
answer.
honey. She's like,
I'm a huge success.
My
No,
poor editor's like, we have to clip this.
No, I
did.
did a party. I did a party called So Fancy, and the only reason I'm going to say it was my
never
least
heard.
favorite. Well, yeah, I was trying to be ironic. Exactly, you never heard of it. That's why it's my least favorite, because nobody showed up. It was just the timing,
would've gone.
location.
So fancy.
It had
So
all the
everything
elements to be fantastic, but for random reasons, it just didn't fly. It didn't fly. But that's not a good story. But it's the truth.
I mean, everything you put your hands to.
I want to
except
know
that
about
one.
your craziest sex story. We don't have time for that.
No, you don't have time for that. I could
But
tell
I
you a
really
story
want
right
to know
now.
it. So if you ever invite him back, you'll let me know, so I can know all about this.
Lyle, most overrated current pop star.
Oh God, I don't want to say it, but I mean, here's the thing, and
Truth or sip?
She won't do a duet with you once you say her name.
I
Just-
mean, I don't want to do a duet
She's
with the
busy
most
licking donuts.
You saying the most underrated or overrated?
Overrated.
Oh, yeah, I heard
You see,
overrated.
I tried.
Overrated.
Honey,
I
hurry up. We
tried.
only got so many minutes.
I
here.
think so. I'm a very much as vocal. You need to be performance, so it needs to be on par. And I feel like also just
I
because
know you're gonna say.
there's two.
I
Can I say
don't.
two? I'm like I do love her music.
Say it,
but I
Okay,
just
okay,
think
okay,
she's
okay.
a little overrated is Dua Lipa. And
Oh.
what's that? No, my driver's license last week. Olivia Rodriguez. I'm like, why are we slitting our wrists? She's number one. Her song is not good at all. I'm like,
I'm really bad at pop
I
music.
thought we were gonna say Jennifer Lopez or something.
I love and live for Jennifer.
thought you were
Lopez.
gonna
J-Lo's
say,
Because how
everything. How
dare
could
Taylor
anyone
you?
not like J-Lo?
I love Jennifer
Lyle,
Lopez,
what's your
yes.
go-to karaoke song?
There's so many, but My Way, Frank Sinatra. No, but also, girl, I say also Whitney
How
Houston's
original.
Whitney Houston's Greatest Love of All, but the
Google that
George Benson version. Love
Okay.
that.
Mario, who is an
Yeah.
LGBTQ entertainer you're fine not having to ever work with again?
Oh, work with again.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Truth or sip?
Oh my God.
No, say I mean if you don't care to work with
Or
them
just
again,
truth
just-
and
No,
sip.
because
Truth and
I'm
sip.
not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, so I'm gonna sip this.
All right, all right.
I'm a good person.
be good, girl.
Mario, if you were to give Jackie Beat one performance note, what would it be?
Shut the fuck up.
She was so funny during
To
Club
her
King
or to
because
him?
they're like making. Oh, well, that's probably true. Lyle, what's one song that you sing in your performances? Because you sound good, but you're just like, I don't really like this song.
Ooh, I used to do a lot of corporate performances. I used to do lots of wedding bar mitzvahs. Oh my God,
Pays
I was
good money.
booked and blessed with
I
those
did the
corporates.
Plumber
So
Awards, by the way.
please, any corporates, I'm here. I do.
Yep.
I sing the song Bakani. However,
So good.
one song that I hate the most is probably Uptown Funk because I do that on cruise ships
No.
a
I
lot.
love it. I love that song.
I mean,
For
it's
you that
singable
haven't
at the
performed
bar
it
mitzvah, though.
155
Right, it's such a wedding song. It's such a wedding song.
When Uptown Funk comes on, I cringe,
Wait.
because I just go into work.
And
mode.
do
But you know it's a great song.
Do you also dance
great
while you're
song.
singing?
Oh my God, do I? I am.
You
a
should see his
performer,
recent
honey.
performance on the South African morning show.
Right.
Ugh.
And they didn't
I mean,
ask
that
for
was
it, but
also.
they-
Here's the thing, though. That was also 5 a.m. I
That's
was
what
waking
I'm saying.
up.
He did the whole thing, and the newscasters were like, that was Lyle.
This
They
is
were
not a pride
surprised.
parade. It's
Right.
5 a.m.
I
news.
mean,
But
Put
it
it
was
back
that-
on.
it was
I'm gonna
so-
give you your
It
life.
was so good. Mario
love
and
it.
Lyle,
Yes.
can you show Adam and me, just show us your most recent naughty DM?
Really? You want me to pull my phone out?
Yeah.
Most naughty recent.
I mean, you
DM.
must get them every day.
Let me see if I have anything in my spam
I wish I had one to show
folder.
you.
Let's see. I mean, I normally
married.
and randomly just get
Mine
dick
says
pics
go
in
pick up the
these-
toilet
hold on.
paper on the way home.
Well, at least they use it. That's good.
I know I got a lot of text here. Okay. Yeah.
Whoa, that's a
Here we
good
go.
one.
Holy my God!
Faceless. Faceless.
Is that-
which
I mean-
makes it even better?
Do you see the suntan line?
I don't.
He was wearing long shorts at the beach. Do you see that?
Of course I do. What do
I
you think?
didn't
I
see.
missed
Wait,
that?
can I see one more time, please?
That was.
I mean,
I mean,
Sorry,
really?
is that-
Like,
sorry,
I think I believe in
did
God.
you?
Why are you
Shall
on
I
your
show
knees
the
right now?
camera?
No.
I want to see it though.
Is that?
Oh, you didn't see it,
Is that a
baby?
send or a receive?
Sender.
No,
Dude, this is a white guy.
who went to the
I
beach
mean,
for one
listen,
day.
white guys,
No offense.
they got it going,
Okay.
baby. They got it going.
Yours.
I'm trying to look. I haven't.
Just show us one of yours
You know
if it's
what?
taking
I'll
too much
just look
time.
for you.
shit.
Go to your private album.
It's never been on.
I know you keep bragging
While
about
he's
that. I'm not
looking-
impressed. I'm not impressed.
While he's looking, we are going to look.
Uptown Funk. I'm cringing.
oh
my God, can you
did
sing?
it. You did it.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
No.
Get up and sing.
No.
And
Lyle.
dance.
Lyle.
Yes.
You have to. Lyle. Kurt, turn up our magic.
I'm
Come on.
absolutely not singing this song.
What?
I'll sing anything but this
Okay,
song.
but-
Okay, he wants to do My Way by Frank
Uptown
Sinatra.
Funk Me Up. Said
Okay,
Uptown Funk Me Up.
while Lyle's looking at that, we are going to take a look at My Forever, which is Lyle's last music video, which incorporates personalities from Los Angeles. Yeah! And it really tells the story of his coming out and his sexuality. So let's take a look at
Yay.
My Forever by Lyle.
Yay.
Your touch keeps my heart beating like a honeybee knitting its sting. And your eyes put a spell on me like some gold rings to its king. I can't control my feelings, baby, and be without you. I can't control it. I don't wanna have to compose my heart when I'm around you. I don't wanna contain it. I just wanna rearrange it. Don't wanna have to behave, yeah. I just want you to be my baby, my forever baby. Your kiss keeps me yearning like the fire in my heart keeps it burning for your love, for your joy, your peace, your happiness. And your smile enlightens my world and it lights up my heart, the forever loving part of me. This love centers our hope in her being. I can't control my feelings, baby, and be without you. I can't control it. I don't wanna have to compose my heart when I'm around you. I don't wanna contain it. I just wanna rearrange it. Don't wanna have to behave, yeah. I just want you to be my baby, my forever baby, my forever baby, my forever baby, my forever
Lyle Anthony.
my forever baby.
So that was Lyle with My Forever.
So good.
Thank
what
you.
a beautiful
And we're
voice.
shooting a music video for Love Wins soon, so that was my first.
Is it
single.
all inclusive? Because I'd like to see some chubby, husky Latinas.
Well, honey, if you
Can you imagine
Listen.
us? We have the Jew and the husky Latina in the back, like,
I
what?
love it.
I'm gonna have to call your
so could
managers in
you.
the
So
morning
could you.
and
You
just.
dance.
But yeah, we are. I was supposed to shoot it a few months ago, and that didn't happen. But yeah,
I have a location for you and everything. Okay,
really, we'll
talk.
chat. We'll chat after.
So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Because of technology, everybody's able to record something on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is a great video. There's like a huge team behind it.
you.
But how does an independent LGBTQ artist have their voice heard when there's so much content, especially during Pride Month?
Okay, so I think more than anything, we have to find out our own space. There's so many. I always say that if you're blessed with a talent, your talent and your expertise will take you to play. It will put you in front of great people. You know what I mean? So, and there's a space for all of us. There's a space for all of us.
There's so much content out there.
Right.
But his is really hot. So.
It's tough.
The
It's
cream
really
rises
hot.
to the top. The
absolutely.
cream rises to the top.
And also just with persistence and just pushing past all of the other content, I think my content is really good, and what I think I need to start pushing a little bit more content. Absolutely. However, it's great content, and I think I released my first song 3 months ago. And the second single was about a month ago with My Forever. So I'm just going to keep pushing and just keep on my track, because I'm not worried about what the rest of the girls are doing, because it's,
Right.
you know.
It's
the
an endurance
solace is on
game.
me.
It's an endurance game. You
Absolutely.
just keep drudging forward. This is what you do.
Absolutely.
You're great at it.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
voice.
That was a good question, though, because that wasn't a question I've ever had, so I wasn't really prepared. But I mean, I knew what it was,
It's tough. You know, we all have heart in this, obviously.
for
And
sure.
we're all putting out good content. But in those, like, this world of, like, algorithms and all that, it's so disappointing sometimes when you're
Right.
like, this is something I'm really proud of. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Was that
let's
a
play the
dig to
game.
me about algorithms? I'm kidding.
No, but you know what I mean.
And then
you
you
know?
and then
So
you
this
post
whole-
the shirtless picture,
And it gets 500,000.
and something you worked on, you put your heart and soul and
Right.
your artistry into, and it just flies by the
Mm.
wayside.
So you should just combine them, what you did in this video. You get both.
Right.
2 for 1 special.
You've got the
Absolutely.
talent. There are
Thank
people
you.
that they have the skill set
Right.
and they have the talent. So it does rise to the top. So
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just going to keep doing me and just keep pushing my music. I think it's so different, the Afrobeat, Afropop sound in America, in the LGBT space within Los Angeles and New York and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's very different. I think it's something fresh and new and exciting. And yeah, I'm going to just keep doing me.
What I also think is very different is that your voice is like a voice.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of people that want to be a pop star, and they're
Right.
like, auto-tune me. But no, it's plaintive, and it tells a story.
I appreciate that.
And
I
for
appreciate that.
the fans out there, watch, because you'll see his boo in it. Guess who that is? We're not going to say it here, but
No.
your boo is in it.
Yeah.
Mario. So as a final point to talk, God, and I had pages and pages for you guys. One of
we got off track a little bit. We got kind of
did, a few
passionate
times.
about
Yeah, but
political
that's-
correctness. Sorry about that.
But isn't that like the
I get
perfect
a little
happy hour?
crazy.
We talk about like, oh, what are you doing? And then we talk about.
But isn't it the same with reality TV? We think it's scripted to a certain degree, and then we
Right.
just veer off,
it
and then
kinda
it just
is.
becomes messy and just like.
Well,
you're
I've
working for
lost
E!
interest in vapid small talk and talking about the silly subjects. I like to
Right.
keep it real.
Right.
Except I would like for you to spill a little bit more tea on your sex life and also celebrities.
You
that you're
are so
dating.
interested
So
in his sex
my
life.
Let me just.
I
like,
think
I
you
just
need
wanna
to-
know.
I have a feeling we're going to see Mario Diaz
Do you
on
want a
an
little
episode
more
of
of this?
More
Just take
Days.
a quick sip of that.
I love that you're so interested in his sex
Well,
life.
I'm all about dating and relationships. I need
Well,
to know
I'm
about
shameless,
the good,
babe.
the
I'm
bad, and the
shameless.
crazy.
And I'm wondering, like, do people use your app just to hook up, or is it just like a dating?
Is it a-
thing?
You can't even see who you're talking to.
Because see, I don't really.
But that's
I've never
maybe what
used
you
an
want.
app for a dating purpose.
Oh,
so
you
for me,
can't
that's
see-
It's
completely
a little.
foreign.
It's a little foreign, yeah.
So you can't see who you're just chatting to a random person
blurry.
and you fall in love
And
with
then
the
the more-
personality and
Well,
hope.
hang on,
Sounds like a disaster.
Mr. South
waiting.
Africa. You can hear their voice, so you can record your sexy ass.
oh
Do you know how
my
many
God.
sex
I will
operators
be-
are
I will
awful
be
people?
coining it. If there was an
You can hear their
OnlyFans for
voice.
s'mores, I'd be coining it on my voice.
Yes.
Oh
Okay,
my
how about we
God.
do this? And this will be a social media clip. Give us your best sex operator voice.
Oh, wow.
Say, hello, I'd like to spend the evening with you. That's the line. Hello, I'd like to spend the evening with you. Adam.
No,
since-
no, I-
No, I
Come
want you
on,
to start.
Adam,
No,
come on, Adam.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Yo, what's up? Let's do this.
And scene.
Okay. That sounds like my college roommate, and it was like 2 seconds later, and it was done. Okay.
Right. Hello.
Straight to the
I'd
point.
like to.
I need a little bit more time. I have to think about this.
Okay, go and then I'll let you
Just
know.
No, you go.
Just
Okay.
do some.
What's the line?
What was it? Hello.
Oh my God.
Hello. I'd like to spend some time fucking you
Oh my
Oh, you
gosh.
added. For somebody like me that's so prudish, I would not want that. I would be like, "Hello, I'd like to spend some more time with you." That would be sexy.
But you know
So
his-
say that.
All right. Hello. Shut up, Alex. Now I feel
His
judged because you're
DMs
already,
are blowing
it's
up
like,
the charts.
Right.
So it's yeah.
All right. Let's hear yours, Alex.
Hello. I'd like to spend a little more time with you,
Oh my God.
if you don't mind.
You sound so awkward.
I sound like Kristen Wiig. Like,
So me or her? Me
I
or
thought I
her?
sounded really
Me
sexy.
or
Listen,
her,
I'm gonna
Mario?
fuck all of you.
But
Okay.
you know what? Whatever you sounded like a little bit hot and nerdy.
I
That's
do
So,
love
like,
hot
okay,
nerd. I
listen.
do
you
love
guys.
hot
I'm gonna
nerd.
be honest. I really thought I
pictured a
sounded hot.
I pictured you as like a hot nerd, and I am.
But
into
here's the
that.
thing: the fact that you thought it was hot, that's all the fuck that matters.
Okay.
Thank you.
And your voice just sounds great when you say whatever. So you're
Thank
like
you.
totally.
I mean,
fine.
let's be honest. We
You'll be
want
totally
people,
fine on S'more.
Okay, I want to
we
hear
want
the
people to
Republican
sound,
Jew.
Okay.
Okay, so the non-Republican Jew from Canada would say,
Okay, Jewpublican, what do you got?
"Hey, baby."
Bette Midler just talked to me on my phone. That was my cameo from Bette Midler.
I have an erection.
Hello, it's me.
Hello.
You know, anything
I'm
put on
really not good with
anything put on
voices.
is a turnoff. You want people to be real. You want to hear a real person. That's a turn on.
Right.
When you watch like pornography and somebody's like overacting, there's nothing more less attractive than that.
And that's why I dig the OnlyFans stuff. No, I think because it's just so like.
You mean just for fans?
homemade.
You mean just for fans?
I mean that's what I mean. Just
Yeah,
for
just for
fans.
fans.
Sorry.
Thank you, Kurt. God,
Just
Kurt's
for
ready
fans.
for
How
that.
dare
Kurt,
I?
what's your Just for Fans profile like? It's probably him playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I no, I don't have that stuff.
In
but, you know,
underwear, in
I-
underwear.
You leave it to the homosexuals.
Yeah, I can't do that justice. I'm sorry.
I will tell you, one night I had to spend the night at Kurt's house,
Yes, you did.
and there were many Harry Potter ones.
Yeah,
Too
you
many for a married couple.
You were handling one
Sexy.
quite intimately, if I recall.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
That's a nerdy, sexy voice I'm hearing from the other side of this computer.
That's right.
I'll
Literally.
bet you got a real.
Do you know what?
I'll bet
So
you got
ju-
a real
just
Harry
for-
Potter.
Just for fans, just fans.
I'm sure he does.
JustFor.Fans.
JustFor.Fans needs to have an audio
Curtis.
component
Yeah.
to it.
So-
Sexy voices.
I do. We're all going to give our social handles at the very end of the show. And Kurt,
Mario
just
Diaz
a
loves you
few
on Instagram.
more
Oh,
minutes.
at the end. Sorry.
Mario, I want to talk about something a little bit more serious. Like we didn't get serious.
Okay.
What I really loved from watching Club King was,
Now streaming on Reverie TV.
Yes.
By the way.
Pride can also be isolating because people come out and then they get shunned by their family. Yeah. And we think things have progressed, and the messages I get from our audience is that things have not progressed that much in certain states. Mario, what I really loved to see was the story about your mom. Growing up, not the best relationship, but then we see scenes with you and her talking about the reality of what you went through, and she's so there for you. It really affected me and touched me. So I would love for you to just touch on that we can forgive people and we
Certainly.
can go back.
Oh, I think forgiveness is such an important part of healing, right? It's part of growing.
1000%.
You know, because we carry so much, you know, and as I grow older, I just realize I just want to let it go. I just don't want to hang on. I don't want to be mad at anybody. I want to, you know, for my own self-care,
And that's the
forgiveness
most
is
important
essential,
about-
right?
It's about you.
And you know
So-
the
It's about
idea of
you.
your parents and that they did the best they can.
Yeah.
That's real. That's a real thing. You know, they came up at a different time when you got married. You did the things, and maybe you
Right.
didn't do it right. Nobody does everything right. So forgiveness means everything. And
Yeah.
I've gotten to know my mom, especially during this pandemic. You know, I didn't really have a relationship with her. So now I feel very close to her, and I'm my mother's son. You know, I love
Absolutely.
that.
Right.
Getting to know her is great. And she cares, and she has a lot of compassion for the pain that I
Yeah.
might have gone through as a child.
Yeah.
And you know what? That just makes it so much easier to forgive, right? But it's part of we forgive our parents for our own growth. really.
Absolutely. And I feel like our parents were learning too. Our parents were learning
It's very true.
as they went along. So
Yeah.
we can't judge them for
Yeah.
what they didn't know.
You know, not everybody should be a parent, and I think you know you
Absolutely.
know better, do better.
Yeah.
But you know, you can't change the past. You can just learn from it and grow.
Amen. Like
You
that.
guys, this has been a full episode. I didn't get to ask you all the questions.
Well,
that I
we'll have to
have.
just come back.
Part 2.
Yeah, let's do it.
But honestly, thank you for this honest conversation during Pride Month. These are the conversations we should be having with our friends, with our family, and let's move forward.
Absolutely. And
I
book
feel
me for
this is
all your
our-
Pride events.
I feel like we're doing a cheers right now, and
Listen,
then we're all
Palm
going to a
Springs
gay pride
Pride,
parade. Yes?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Adam, would you like to give us like an inspirational?
Yes. I think that this is a month of self-love, and every month should be a month of self-love. So
4 times a day, I'm Latino.
as RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? Amen. And cheers to that. And have an amazing Pride, guys. And thank you so much for watching and listening. Cheers.
Okay, before we go real fast, though. No, but that was a good final. Everybody tell our audience where they can find you and follow. Mario.
Oh, my Instagram handle is Mario Diaz Loves You. So please love me and follow me on Instagram.
Yes.
Mario Diaz, Mario Diaz all over the place.
And watch Club King on Reverie. It's
Club King on Reverie TV. Come to Hot Dog at El Cid every Sunday, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's my new gig that I'm bringing back.
It's coming back.
I know, my first post-pandemic
20th.
party.
Is that guy hung or what? I don't know. Is that hung guy?
And
Yeah, sure.
come
What
see
is
the
it?
Golden Girls at Cavern Club Theater, Casita del Campo. And there's going to be plenty of stuff. So follow me on social and let's have some fun. And you guys, we got through this pandemic. So it's bring on the Renaissance, man. This
You
is
can
like
get through anything.
we can get through anything. Our second pandemic in this lifetime.
Right.
Renaissance. I love that word. I think we are ready for a new
We
Renaissance.
are on the precipice of a really great summer, and I'm really happy about it.
And speaking of the summer, it is the summer of love. 2021 combines 2020 with 2021. So there's going to be a lot of relationships had this summer. So make sure you don't waste your time on fake catfishers and get your butt on S'more, where you could have an anti-superficial relationship. Meet someone before you judge them. No one needs to be judged. You don't need to be judged, and you don't need to judge other people. Keep going. So if you want to follow me, you can follow at @SmoreDate on Instagram. You should also check out our celebrity dating show on IGTV.
It's so fun, you guys. Every week, you have no idea who shows up. It's
Really?
ridiculous. I'm like, I want your Rolodex.
We have some really good housewives coming up. We have some people from
Ooh,
Bravo
I love
coming
a
up.
housewife.
We have Brian Benny from Family Karma. If you're watching Family
Which
Karma
housewives do you
on
have coming up?
Bravo. We have one
Okay,
from the Real Housewives of Potomac coming
He's had
up.
them
Oh,
all.
Lord.
Vicky, Tamra.
We've had a lot of
Danielle.
them come on the show. It's fun because we get to hear about their craziest dating stories, and you see them raw in a way you've never seen them before. So if you like the content, go check it out on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. We're also on Clubhouse, by the way. Clubhouse is the place to be. Also, if you want to hear fun things. I shouldn't have said that. Okay,
it's fine.
turning
I-
to Alex.
I have a problem with Clubhouse
I
because it's
hate
like
Clubhouse. I
if
think
you're
it's so tragic.
people are okay. It's supporting a lot of people.
Anyway.
Okay, Lyle, where can people find and follow you?
Well, for bookings, media inquiries, it's Lyle Anthony Official at gmail.com. So it's LYLE Anthony Official at gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, LyleAnthonyOfficial.com. On Twitter, LyleAnthony_USA. My website is LyleAnthony.com. Also, my beautiful, beautiful new releases, Love Wins. It's a great, great Afropop song. It's all about pride. So go and download that on any music platform. And then My Forever, it's my latest single. And also check out the music video. It's a beautiful one.
All right, before we go, it's Pride Month. Everybody's Pride message to your fans. And Mario, you have very different Pride fans. Your Pride fans are like, thank you for starting
My Pride message?
Night Love,
Should
but
you want me to say a message?
to your fans.
To your fans.
Oh, look what we pulled.
Look at baby Mario.
This is Mario.
Yeah, I was a roller skating champion.
God, nobody knew you were gay at all.
Not at all, honey.
What's your Pride message?
Gosh, I mean, what is the message I want to say? I just want to say accept yourself and love yourself. This is it. This is our life. So we gotta own it. Let's be present. Let's be grateful for what we have. We don't need much. If this last year and a half has taught us anything, we don't need much. All that really matters is the love in your heart and the people in your life. And thank you so much for having me. I had a wonderful time
I love
today.
you.
So yeah, just embrace it. Own it, man. Own it. Love it and enjoy yourself. Life is short. So let's do this.
Adam, your Pride message.
It's all about relationships. So I think that Pride Month is all about knowing yourself, being comfortable in your own skin, and not settling for someone who doesn't accept every single part of you. If they don't like what you do, if they don't like how you sound, get out of the way. Either get on board or get the hell out of the way, because you deserve to be loved, and every part of you deserves to be loved. And then go find your love on S'more.
Okay, but I've gained like 30 pounds during COVID.
Every
so
part of you deserves to be loved.
I want to love that. Okay, Lyle.
Yes.
What's your Pride message?
Oh, my pride message to everybody. Go out there, be fabulous, be yourself, because there's nobody better than you. Go and love yourself. Go and take care of yourself. Like a car goes in every month, every couple of months for its panel beating. Your body, shut up, your mind needs it. Go and see a therapist. Go and reach out. Go and do some spiritual work. Go and do some intricate inner healing. I know I'm getting a little Oprah-ish on here, but
I love
listen, go and do
As long
the,
as you give
the
me a car at
work
the end of this, I'm
that
cool.
you need. Love yourself, because if like RuPaul says, if we always taught that you need to love your neighbor better than you love yourself. If you can't love yourself, you can't love your neighbor. So go and do that. Love yourself. Be sexual. Be crazy. Just be who the fuck you want to be.
Be who you are. Happy Pride Month. Also, Pride. Also, pick up your latest copy of Metrosaurus magazine, available nationally. I'm the lead writer for Metrosaurus. So my interviews with Carson Kressley, Gigi Gorgeous, Paul Rudnick, it's all there.
I can't wait to be on the cover.
Oh.
So next month.
You guys, thank you. And Kurt, I can't believe you're going to leave us after next.
Maybe I'll come back surprising you sometime. So,
Can we tempt
you
you?
never know.
Thank you to Michael. Thank you to our researcher, Mama Rose. And thank you to our listeners that listen week after week. It's for free, so why don't you do it and share it? Love you, everybody. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Find everything On the Rocks for free at OnTheRocksRadioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week,